Ah! I knew I forgot something. I was even going to say it. I was going to say, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I forgot the Instagram stream key. There we go. Now we can go live there. Start the virtual camera for TikTok. I managed to go live for all about 5 minutes before these fucking losers take me down. Before the Elliston pedo class takes down my stream. Do I have the... Yes, I do. Okay. Go live. Where is... Ah, that's what I need. I might need to upgrade my computer a little bit. I'm not sure. I think my internet is fine. I think it actually might be some of my hardware at this point. Not 100% sure. Claire Canty, Tony77506, welcome. Let's get that resized. Nope, not going to do that. God, this computer is so janky. I don't know why it does some of the... This computer is like a cat, you know? It does some things. I'm like, why are you the way that you are? And even it can't explain why. Okay. Hey, Equeer, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. What's going on? You want to talk about it? Lori Kafin, welcome. All right, let's see here. So, the White House Correspondents' Dinner was a disaster, as anybody with a functioning singular brain cell could tell. You're hoping for the trolls to go whack? Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm going to be covering Elon Musk and Donald Trump, so that's going to bring them all these losers out from under their what do trolls hide under? Bridges? Oh, you're from Canty. I mean, you're from Canada, Claire. Very interesting. Claire Canty. Very cool. Well, you might not understand some of the stuff I'm about to talk about if you're from Canada, or maybe you will. I don't know, but let's dive in, shall we? Here we go. Here we go.
And now the Katharine Graham Award for Courage and Accountability, named for the legendary Washington Post publisher. And it comes with a prize of $10,000.
Whoa.
This year's award goes to the Wall Street Journal.
Yuck.
The Journal's courageous reporting on President Trump's past relationship with financier Jeffrey Epstein triggered the release of the so-called Epstein files, thousands of documents that might otherwise have remained hidden from the public. And despite the president's threat of a lawsuit, the Journal published a story about a provocative letter
I'm really sorry to hear about that,
Epstein
Equeer.
bearing President
Trump's
Trump's signature. Trump quickly filed a $20 billion lawsuit against the Journal, revealing reporter Khadija Safdar's home address. Her family had to be relocated.
He's like, what can I do? I had to shut him up somehow.
But the reporters continue to file revelatory stories.
Sinclair Fur,
Please welcome the winners of the Katharine Graham Award from the Wall Street Journal. Khadija Safdar, Sadie Gurman, Annie Linsky.
So remember that these women apparently had their addresses doxed by that pedophile in chief that's sitting just off screen here. So this has to be a real moment for these ladies to walk out and be like, "Fuck you, pedo. We're still getting this award."
Josh Dawsey again, Alex Leary, Rebecca Ballhouse, and Ryan Barber. Their colleague Joe Palazzolo could not attend tonight.
Do they not get to say anything? It's not like the Oscars. They don't get to. Oh, you shook his hand? Oh, did you see that eye roll, though? Holy shit, that was awesome. I mean, it was pathetic that she shook his hand, but hang on, watch this. She's like, ugh, ugh. Oh, that's... You never shook his hand? Yeah, I don't know. And look, what is... What the fuck is that reaction? Oh my God. All in the sense of normalcy. Jesus Christ. So look, like, let's be clear on something. These reporters did amazing work with these Epstein files, but if you ever wondered how there could be an international pedo cabal that literally rapes and eats children and gets away with it, honestly, this is how. Because then when these own reporters have their lives threatened by this very same pedophile, what do? They go back to norms and they shake his fucking hand. What does that tell you? This is rape culture right here. This is pedo culture right here. Sure, they do one good thing, and then they do that good thing, and then it's back to normals. Hey, yay, good for you, Donald. You're here. Oh my God, look at how happy this sweaty fat fuck is. He's like, oh my God, I got to out him being a pedophile, and I don't change my judgment on him at all. I still like him. This is fucking pathetic. This entire goddamn award is a disgrace. This entire organization, the White House Correspondents Association, is a disgrace. Abolish all of them. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck is this? Like, they're sitting next to a pedophile. They're sitting next to a guy who helped rape children, paid for it, and covered it up. And they're just going along business as usual. Fuck this organization. Holy shit. That was revolting, E-Queer. Unbelievable. It's patriarchy? Yes, Sinclair, you're absolutely correct. It's 100% patriarchy. And it's how this shit keeps going on and on and on, and how they keep getting away with it. And it needs to fucking change. But it gets better. Wait.
100%.
So for all their yucking it up, for all their shaking my hands and coming up, thank you, with tears in their eyes, thank you, Mr. Trump, for letting us write about how you rape children, thank you. For all of that, I'm still going to roast them and put them on blast, as the kids say. Watch this shit.
Who should be here. He turned Palestinian. This was a man.
What does that even mean?
100% for Israel. 100%.
Israel. It's not Israel, it's Israel. Okay, Israel. A lot of people don't know this. There's an H in there. People don't know this. You have to say the H. If you don't say the H, you're anti-Semitic. That's the rules. I don't make it. I don't make the rules about anti-Semitism. I just break them and dine with Holocaust deniers. But still, Netanyahu loves me.
Crying Chuck. Remember he cried at the airport over illegal immigrants? They were the fakest tears. There were people throwing water in his face. But now he's a proud, very proud Palestinian. In fact, I'm going to send him a beautiful Palestinian outfit tomorrow so he can greet Bibi Netanyahu when he comes to town next week.
Which is so ironic because Chuck fucking loves Netanyahu. They're fucking buddies. I mean, it makes sense that two baby killers in a tree would get along so well, but like, this is such a stupid speech. And again, he's just throwing it in everyone's face. Every single person that went there, all these, a lot of these press legitimately get serious death threats. They are serious targets of his reporting, and they still went there knowing that, and he throws it in their face. Watch, it gets, look at this shit.
People that want to hear that, most people don't care, but I would.
God, he looks awful. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Have you seen the trailer for Clayface? He looks like Clayface, like, after he can't control his face. That's what he looks like, as his face just starts melting. He looks like, oh God, what was that horror movie about the guy, the serial killer that would put all of his victims in wax? What was that goddamn movie called? He looks like that.
Think of it, they hired Dylan Mulvaney, and their market cap has gone down by $35 billion. Who wrote that?
$35 billion with a B. A lot of people don't know. You can't say million without the B. It has to have a B in there. Otherwise, it's not billion.
Josh Dorsey. He also received. He's been killing me for years. No, he's been, and yet tonight he shakes my hand. He hugs me, everything.
See, this is exactly what I'm this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, they go there, they yuck it up, they shake his fucking hand, and then he gets to throw it in their face anyways. He gets to continually call out threats to them. I mean, you can't be mad when you're getting bullied if all you do is roll the fuck over and show your belly.
Nice. He kills me. Josh is amazing. He writes more stories than any human being. There's nobody that writes more than Josh. He'll write 4 stories about me a day, all different subjects. I mean, I had the other day 3 stories.
As if he doesn't love it, too. I mean, this pedophile is such a fucking narcissist. He gets a fucking hard on the moment he gets an alert on his phone. Like, what'd they say? What'd they say about me? I don't care if it's about the Epstein files. As long as I am in there, as long as I'm in the reporting, that's good. That's good. Even if it talks about how I rape and eat children, there's no such thing as bad press.
And one on the, But he was upset about this. One was on page 7, 3 were on page 1. They were all written by Josh. But he's hit the big time, and he's a workhorse, and yet he's almost unhireable. You know, he's just one of these guys. Wall Street Journal's lucky to have him, but it's unbelievable. He's almost unhireable.
Where's
CNN
this speech going?
He's also here, and I'm very disappointed they didn't bring fake Tapper because he's had a rough couple of years.
Fake Tapper. Oh my God, this guy has nothing left. Holy shit. Fake Tapper. Jesus Christ. Fake Tapper is fake because it rhymes with Jake. I couldn't say lake because there are no lakes nearby him. There's no lakes. I couldn't say make because what is he going to do? Make me a sandwich? No, I know. I have Carolyn Levitt make me my sandwiches. Thank you very much. Not Melania. She lives 1,000 miles away. She doesn't want to share a bed with me.
Because, he calls me up every once in a while. If I pick it up,
make me a sandwich, Tapper.
I used to go to this young lady. I'd say, any calls from the press? No, sir. I said, oh, now I'm the president of the United States, right? I'd say to Stephen Chung, is Stephen here someplace? Where's Stephen? He's one of the toughest.
Oh my God, so boring. Jesus Christ, he has nothing left. Holy shit, the juice is just not there. Trump is demented as in his brain is fried. I mean, look, not even his brain, his face. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this. What is this? Look at the wrinkles. Look, he truly does look like a wax figure that's been left out in the sun too long, you know? What the fuck? What's up, Dirty Dingus? How's it going? You need a salad? No, I have mixed greens, actually, later today. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're concerned about my metabolism and my food pyramid intake. I once worked a Trump event, and Trump is really going downhill. Yeah, none of that surprises me. I mean, he's got fucking nothing left. Absolutely nothing. Oh, we have a trigger mega pedophile. Family Man 1965 says, you're a loser. Oh, another trigger mega pedophile. Hold on. Charles Latora 5750, also a trigger mega pedophile, says, do you have a job? Well, I can tell you one thing for sure.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. They can shred the dust.
Like, literally nothing you mega pedophiles can say tops this simple fact. Oh, another trigger mega pedophile. Joel McLemore, 1898. I got something for you, buddy.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is.
Again, nothing you can say about, like, I have a job, I'm a communist. None of that changes the fact that you're a pedophile supporting a pedophile. None of it changes anything. Hashtag cult, exactly. Pissed off MAGA cult chomos here. Yeah. Chud Magnet, that's me. I am the original Chud Magnet. The Chud Magnet. Well, there you go, E-Queer. The MAGA pedos have found the stream and are getting triggered by it. Oh, another trigger MAGA pedophile. Mark Van Wee Elden 6306. Got some for you, buddy. He says, listen here, turd blossom. Oh, my God. Do you guys hear how cringe you are? You're calling me a turd blossom while...
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the...
I mean, what would you rather be, a turd blossom, whatever in the fuck that is, or on the Epstein list? I mean, it's pretty obvious what most Americans would prefer, but that's why pedophiles like Mark Van Wee Elden 6306 are not American.
But after hearing the gunshots, many people yelled, get down, which caused Nicki Minaj to start twerking. Do you believe it? Get down.
Oh, my God.
She's the only one that really understood.
The fucking trained seals. Look at this guy back here. He's like, motherfucker, what? What the fuck are these motherfuckers laughing at? What? That's what. Look at the disdain on this man's face. Oh my God, I gotta go back to this cut. Hold on. Wait. Wait for it. Wait. Look at just this. Can I play this in slow motion? Let me see. Can I? Oh, I can. Hang on. Let me see. I want to see his look at his face. Look at
Get
look at his face.
down.
Look at him slowly. He's like
She's the only one that really understood what that meant.
Oh my god. Slow motion is actually somehow funnier than anything Trump could possibly fucking deliver. Oh, we have a couple more trigger mega pedophiles. Let's see who we got here. Brian-PU8WE, Family Man 1965. Hi, trigger mega pedophiles. This is for you.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
I mean, again, nothing tops the simple fact that they're all pedophiles. Not only is he on the list, he's the main player. He's the number one client, yeah. Number one buyer. Okay, let's see. Where do we leave off here?
It's quite an evening. But tonight we come back together.
What's funny is that is actually kind of a good joke, but it's so piss poorly delivered.
To answer that heinous attack with unwavering resolve, and every one of us here this evening to show that in America we do not yield to political violence. We can't do that.
Oh, fuck off. As, like, one of his followers murdered two Democratic members of the political establishment, and then also Caesar Soyak, multiple mass shooters. I mean, fuck this fucking liar.
Can't do it.
2/3 of all terrorist attacks in America are right-wing terrorist Republicans, and about as many pedophiles as well. Trump gives them permission to be horrible. That's why they love him. Yeah, exactly. I have said over and over and over that the reason it's such a fanatical cult is because Trump is an evil, child-raping, pedophile terrorist, and the MAGA base sees exactly that in him, and so they're just seeing a mirror reflection. Oh, we have another trigger MAGA. Oh, we have multiple trigger MAGA pedophiles. Holy shit. The pedophiles are coming in like roaches. Joe Wirt 7592, Jim Hatfield 9274, user dash RI7EV1CV5J.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. They can shred the dots, but the truth still exists. Trump
Is on the Epstein list. Sing it with me now. He is. Trump is. Oops. We gotta go back. Gotta go back. All right, where was I? All right, let's see how badly he bombs this part.
Sometimes I really do think that some of you don't like me.
Wow.
In fact, I read a
okay, that
report. I
away.
get 93% negative publicity. 93. So how the hell did I win the election by so much? Think of it. I don't think that's true. I can't believe it's 93. In the 80s, maybe, but not 93. But this place is really the largest group of Trump derangement syndrome people ever put together at one time, I suspect. Sometimes I really do think.
And they're just yucking it up, laughing with him. It's fucking pathetic.
Get aside, I do think we need term limits in Congress. I think term limits are very important because I see what's happening. I see what's happening. The other day, a senator I knew got a text, a great guy, from his wife. And she said, when you get home, I want to have you immediately come up the stairs and make love to me. And he said, I can't do both. You know what? In other words, can't go up the stairs and make love. Does anybody get that? Well, I thought that was actually pretty good.
Oh,
That was actually the only thing I thought was good in this whole frickin' stupid speech that they wrote. That was the only good one, and that went down with not exactly great.
Wow, that was cringe. Holy
I think,
shit.
in other words, you can't go up the stairs and make love, too, So we're looking for term limits. Does anybody understand this stuff?
Oh my god. Holy the fuck is he talking about? Brett Well, the joke was supposed to be about how they're a senator and they're old, so they can't go up the steps and make love. They can only do one or the other. But wow, that was piss poorly written and delivered. God, he's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. Oh, Trigger Mega Pedophile. Welcome to Coolio Jones 8702. I got something for you.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
Wait, Coolio Jones, I just want to make sure you heard that. I don't know if you've heard the news yet, but
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
do you get it now? Do you get it now, Coolio? Coolio, I don't know if you heard the word, but
Trump is on the Epstein list.
Coolio, did you Coolio, are you with me? Coolio, did we lose you? Coolio, where'd you go?
Trump is on the Epstein list.
Coolio, why'd you leave? Why'd you leave once facts come at you? Why'd you leave? It's possible he won via Elon, but the fact that anyone ever voted for him is gross. Yeah, well, the people that voted for him are they're the last people you would ever want to have as your neighbor, and two, they're the last person you would ever want to have with you on a deserted island, right? Like if you get stranded on a desert island, people are always like, who would you bring with you? And what of the one items would you take? Would you take a book? Would you take a Swiss Army knife? Would you take a canteen of vodka? What would you take? And also, who would you take with? Oh, I would take fucking Steve Irwin. Oh, I'd take my best friend. I'd take fucking Abraham Lincoln, whatever. And every single time, the person you would never want to have as your neighbor or with you on a stranded on a desert island is a Republican.
Talk about, they got a whole table full of Republicans there. They're saying, no, don't mention my frickin' name, will you please? But we've had a lot of good names. But the Democrats,
Oh, God, the
are there
Democrats.
to destroy wealth, and honestly, they've gone absolutely crazy. Gavin Newsom's not only a man who really wants to run for president, he's doing a bad job running a state. You can't have
Like, I hate Newsom, so I hate it when the right also hate Democrats that I hate. It's like in a sane, well, maybe not a sane world, but like, what's that saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? But if I were to ally myself with Trump and his pedo-terrorist cabal to stop Newsom, that actually says more about how bad I am than about how bad Newsom is. Like, I'd rather say, no, fuck you, Trump, let us handle Newsom, we're going to tank his primary, than I would rather ally with an orange pedophile whose face is melting off like something out of a horror movie.
somebody like a J.B. Pritzker, who I understand is not present, sadly,
I also hate J.B. Pritzker, for the record.
but, some people say, never use the fact.
What the fuck was that cut? Hang on, what happened here?
And I would never call anybody fat. I have my own problems, It's not like I'm perfect. Sir, in the back, wants to run for president. He's doing a bad job running a state. You can't have somebody like a J.B. Pritzker, who I understand is not present, sadly.
What is this cut?
Some people say,
I
never
don't get.
use the fat
That's
word.
weird. That was
And
weird.
I
It's a
don't.
Trump
I would
Steen
never
list,
call
yeah,
anybody
for real.
fat. I have my own problems, It's not like I'm perfect. Sir, in the back, don't call him a fat pig, okay? I'm sticking up for him. Don't call him you. You can't do that, sir. You can't call J.B. Pritzker a fat pig. Please. All right?
Keep in mind, this orange Nazi pedophile literally called a reporter piggy, right? What do you say to her? Like, quiet, piggy? Wasn't that it? Quiet, piggy, quiet. And he's yapping about how you can't say that to Pritzker, and you can't because he's got his own. None of this shit makes any fucking sense, dude.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everyone's trying to figure out who is that guy? Does he exist? But the nice part is when you do that, the press can't get you because I'm defending a man who obviously has a problem. Actually, he's lost a lot of weight. I saw him recently. He lost quite a bit of weight. I don't know what the hell. He's got no chance, believe me. Anything he does, a family.
Hey,
threw
Kitty
him out of
Lifestyle,
the
how are you?
business, a number of other potential.
It's just nothing makes sense, right? What is calling him a fat pig? How does him calling you a fat pig, how does that improve your lives? What the fuck? Dime Drawer says, I'm ripping smelly, juicy cabbage farts all day. Jesus Christ. Where do these people come from? But like, how does him? I'm sorry, now I can't read. Fuck you, Dime Drawer. I was talking about something kind of semi-important. Mega? How does calling him a fat pig improve your life? Right? Is it like every time Trump calls Pritzker a fat pig, like your boss gives you a raise? Every time he calls Pritzker a fat pig, gas goes lower? Like, what does that do for you? It doesn't do shit. Meanwhile, this pedophile is still raping children. He's still bombing Iran with your taxpayer money while you pay more for beef and for gas. How does that help you? It doesn't fucking help you. His jokes didn't land. Yeah, the jokes were just fucking awful. Well, not. I will be honestly. I thought this was. Look at this. This is actually, I think, a well-written joke. But his delivery is so bad. I mean, it's so slow. You could drive a fucking truck through the pauses.
Nicki Minaj, get down, which caused Nicki Minaj to start twerking. Do you believe it?
See, like, it's such just bad. It's so long. There's so many pauses. But honestly, I think it's kind of a good joke. He's just a shit fucking. He just does not have the juice anymore. Oh, we have a Trigger Mega pedophile. Gary McLaughlin says that I wear a butt plug. Okay, how is that worse than?
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list.
Hey, chat, what's worse? Me having a butt plug or a person being a child rapist? What's worse? Hands up, what's worse? These people are so fucking weird. They literally support a child rapist because they're also pedophiles themselves, like Gary McLaughlin 720. Sorry, Gary McLaughlin 7270 is a pedophile that rapes children, so he supports Trump because Trump is also a pedophile that rapes children. So here they are trying to say that I wear a butt plug. Oh no! I have a butt plug? Yeah, that's so much worse than being a part of not one, but two international pedo cabals. Do you guys understand that, right? Trump wasn't just in the Epstein files because he raped children under Epstein. He was also in the Andrew Tate pedo cabal. He went out of his way to free the Tate pedophiles. Like, this guy could not be more of a pedophile if he were on To Catch a Predator, right? It's insane. Thanks for sharing, Dime Drawer. Yeah, I know. That shit did get me laughing, not gonna lie. Yeah, being a pedo is worse, right? Our president is a pedo, exactly. Child rapist. Yeah, all of it is worse. Neva Ganali, welcome. I haven't seen you before. Welcome to the stream. You're in for it today because we're talking a lot about Trump, and we're also gonna move on to Elon, and it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna get a lot of crazy people in this chat.
But this place is the
God, he
really
looks
the
fucking
largest
awful, dude. Look at him.
group of Trump derangement syndrome people ever put together at one time, I suspect. Some of you are lucky that our last dinner was cut short because I had brought with me what would possibly have been, I'm telling you, I had something. I was going to go after you. I feel so badly doing this. It's going to be such a letdown. Oh, yeah.
See, and they're still laughing. Like, he's up there saying, like, I was going to make fun of you, and I was going to incite more terrorist bomb threats against you, and put your lives in danger more, and the fucking trained SEALs and the White House correspondents, these fucking journalists, are like, oh, yes, please make fun of us. Please make fun of us, Daddy Trump. We love to have to move out of our homes because we're not safe and get terrorist threats. We love you, Daddy Trump. These people are I'm sorry, but these fucking mainstream journalists are just the absolute worst. They are the reason we're here. They gave Trump $1 billion in free fucking airtime, which gave us this orange Nazi pedophile that then went on to cause bomb threats at CNN, to have bomb threats sent to a bunch of different offices, to have Jamal Khashoggi, Washington Post journalists, hacked to pieces while still alive. I mean, these people, I'm sorry. We need to really we need to stop supporting corporate media. That's just it. We need to start supporting independent media, like Zedio is a good one. LA Taco out here is a good one. There's a couple others I can't think of at the moment, but there are plenty of good independent journalisms. Drop Site News, Ryan Grimm is kind of all over the place and a little bit of a nutter at times, but the simple fact is their reporting is very good. But we need to stop supporting the people. Anyone who shows up to this and doesn't sit there in stone-faced silence the entire time this orange Nazi pedophile is talking is on the side of the enemy. They just are. I wonder if Trump has liver disease. That's a really good question. I hadn't thought of that one. It's certainly not in any of the, it's not in any of the speculations that I've been reading out, I'll say that. They like the sadomasochism. It's got to be something like that. They got just fucking Stockholm Syndrome at this point. They're laughing at him, not with him. I don't know about that, Sinclair. I really don't. I really don't think that's the case. Because if they were laughing at him, they would be laughing at him the other times instead of just sitting in stone-faced silence. I don't know if that's the case. I think there are times when they were laughing at him, like when he was making fun of himself about that old people joke not landing. I think they were laughing at him then. But here, I don't. I think it's. I honestly, Sinclair, I really think this is that polite laughter, right? They realize, this is the kind of shit you would see in like Game of Thrones, right? They realize they're in the throne of the king, and so they have to laugh. Otherwise, they're gonna get beheaded. That's what it is. Roll Turtle 6643. Yes, east each other. Yes, east. Are you talking about cardinal directions here? Yes, north each other. Yes, now south each other. Yes, now 69, 69. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
But your lives were really in danger the last time for an opposite reason.
See, again,
But on
he's
the plus
throwing it in
side,
their
your
face.
Careers were saved, and we have
And they're laughing at that. They're laughing at that. Haha, yeah, it was so funny that we had to fear for our lives and we had to move homes and change addresses and buy home securities and pay for security services. Ha ha ha. Yes, thank you, Trump. Thank you. It's so fun. Amza132 says, stupid Americans voted for this shit. Yes. Well, this is America. We have a lot of stupid Americans here.
We really do. We have a complete and total. I love the words complete and total. They say, but it means almost the same thing. I said it doesn't matter when you say it. It's called emphasis. It's called emphasis. But everyone is now really.
Oh my God, he's doing that. He's doing that Mike Myers bit. He's like, you put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Do you hear me? Emphasis. Emphasis.
Emphasis.
Emphasis.
But everyone is now really warming up. The new White House Military Center, drone port, highly protected ballroom. We have our ballroom. The windows are this thick. They said to the people, well, if a bullet hits, what happens? Nothing. Nothing. It bounces.
Jesus. He's just got fucking nothing. It's so boring. It's just boring now. I used to, say what you want about Trump for a public speaker. He's obviously a terrible human being, a child rapist, a pedophile, a Nazi, a terrorist, blah, 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 blah. Yes, we agree. However, he was actually entertaining to watch. He did, for whatever reason, have that woof. That's just, he had that fucking car crash disaster vibe every time he'd go on stage. It's like, man, what the fuck is he going to say? So you couldn't really look away, and it's just not there anymore.
But this year, the association decided not to have a comedian, so they considered using Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. These guys, they're terrible. They're terrible. Stephen Colbert. These are people without talent. They get a lot. They have talent. You know who has talent? Their agent, getting them the money they get. They have no talent. But they are not comedians. They're not funny people. They're angry people. They're sick people. But the association really put on a big show, and they have somebody very special. I look forward to. But this year, the association decided not to have a comedian, so they considered using Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
Again, they're just. And you can hear them in the background just yucking it up, laughing at his bullshit. This is just, oh my God, it's just so pathetic.
I changed, and I know Democrats, and the word Democrat is something that's come into fashion. I changed the E with a U, and most people don't know that dumb has a B, so we don't have to worry about that.
What the fuck are you laughing at, you fucking banana face looking shithead? Motherfucker, look like Motherfucker, you look like you were born from a fucking cartoon, not a live human being. The fuck are you laughing at?
Very quiet. I thought it was quite good, but I haven't gotten much credit for that.
Oh my God, these people are so fucking pathetic.
Good. I won't say Lion Ted because he's on my side. I don't talk about.
And he even has to do it passive aggressively about Ted fucking Cruz. It's crazy. Raul Barra Hona Perez 5761. I don't know what you're saying. It's in a different language. I don't know what that is. He wouldn't know talent if it slapped him in the face. Well, we can see that from his cabinet, right? I mean, Pete Hegseth. Are you kidding me? Ugh. I mean, who? Carolyn Levitt? For real? Marco Rubio? Ugh. These people are some of the least talented folks that have ever graced the Potomac. Tim Pool and Tim Cass have made war on Antifa. Oh no, I'm so scared of a bald chicken shit loser that has to have his checks written by a foreign government because he doesn't want to love his country. Oh no, Tim fucking Pool has made war on Antifa. Wow, does that mean he's going to come out of his mother's basement for the first time in 5 years? He has mush brain, needs the 25th. Well, no argument there, but sadly that's not going to happen.
His policies of enabling wildfires, paying drug addicts to be homeless, giving free sex changes to illegals, and telling rich people they're going
What?
to take
Free sex changes to illegals? What the fuck? Like there's just something right on the Rio Grande that's like, hey, immigrants, come on in here. Yeah, you go in a man, come out a woman. That's right. You go in a woman, you come out a man. Takes you a little more than 3 weeks. Actually, more like 3 years. 3 weeks is just the initial consultation. Then you have to see if you really want to do it. Plus, you have to take the hormones, which takes another couple of years before we can even talk about surgery. Then when we talk about surgery, you have to go into more consultation with other specialists. But yeah, it's immediate, and it's totally free. Actually, it's not free if you don't have insurance. You have to pay us out of pocket. If you don't pay us out of pocket, then we just kind of throw you out to the side and then we send you to ICE. But hey, it's totally free. Totally free sex changes for immigrants. This is just the you know how fucking brain dead you have to be to believe this stupid shit. Anti-rabbit carrot. I'm so tired of this existence. What the hell happened? The 90s look so good, at least in a good direction. What happened? Racism happened. Racist fucking losers decided that a pedophile was more important to support than a black man. He's just so ridiculous. It really is. I mean, who said? Hold on. Who says this? What
free sex changes to illegals.
Free sex changes to illegals. Keep in mind, the Democrats want to give free lunches to schools, and to the pedo party, they're like, that means free sex changes for illegal immigrants. It's just, you have to be so fucking brain dead to believe this shit. Oh, speaking of brain dead, we have a trigger mega pedophile. Aaron Carmona 4747 says the left loves fascists. Well, you know what you pedophiles love?
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list.
Sing it with me now. Yes, he is. They come in here yapping, and like nothing can top this. I'm sorry, you support a pedophile. I don't give a shit what you think about me. You're a pedophile supporting another pedophile. That's my trump card. I have a trump card on you, okay? On you. My trump card is always that Trump is on the Epstein list, okay? The worst part is people believe this shit. What about the sex change for illegal immigrants? Yeah, people believe it because their fucking brain is fried, and being stupid and racist and hateful is easier than actually. And don't get me wrong, there has actually been a lot of this on the left too. Like it's the sign of an intelligent person is being able to hold two contrasting thoughts at the same time, right? So, for example, Israel is a genocidal terrorist pedophile state, and Hamas are also pretty fucking evil themselves. Two completely opposite thought processes, but I can have them. And this blows the minds of these Zionists because they can't have that. So these mega pedophiles on the right, they can't have the thought process of the Democrats can be incredibly stupid and incompetent, but the goal is still also to get them a living wage and health care. They're incapable of having those two thoughts at the same time. Kids are using limited... Kids are using litter boxes. They're eating the cats. Democrats are drinking baby blood. These are all legitimate conversations that came up during Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, right? It's a thanks for giving me food. That's what Thanksgiving is. Many people don't know that. Thanksgiving. 2 years ago, I felt like crying. Yes, sex changes. They're just perverted. That's here's the thing, Carrot. They're also extremely perverted people, right? The biggest searchers of trans porn is in the South, in the places where they ban trans people, right? No sex changes, no coverage for gender affirming care, no trans people in bathrooms. Those are the places that have searched for trans porn the most. And we see it with Lindsey Graham, right? Lady G, Ladybug G herself, paying trans sex workers while having them do insane stuff to them while wearing a red thong. It's serious self-hatred. And they would rather take that out on the people that they secretly are in love with rather than, see a fucking shrink. They believe the wacky stuff just because Trump said it's their choice to believe a compulsive liar. That is also a key point, eQueer, is because anything that Trump says they'll take as gospel, right? They don't have to, no matter, again, look at gas prices, right? These MAGA pedophiles will literally say, gas is lower than ever before. I've never seen it this low. I tell you, I go and it only cost me $120 to fuel up my 15-gallon truck. Only $150, that's all it took. And you're like, yeah, that's because gas is more. No! Dude, just last year you told me it cost you like $80. No, I never said that. Like, they would just create this alternate reality because their alternate reality is more comfortable than the actual reality of them getting royally butt-fucked by an orangey Nazi pedophile. They have dicks dancing in their heads, which is fine, but why they hate, LOL. Again, it just comes down to self-hatred. Truth, more they thump the Bible, the bigger the kink. Oh, Kitty Lifestyle, you win the internets today for that one. That's a good one. Good saying.
Telling rich people they're going to take away, all of your money is going to be taken away. People are fleeing, and they're fleeing in droves. We can't have that in this country.
And keep in mind, the money is being taken away right now to fund data centers. Like, all these billionaire pedophile class people are getting tax breaks and they're getting government contracts to build these fucking data centers. That is where your money is going. It's not going to your health care. It's not going to school lunches. It's not going to fix the fucking potholes. It's not going to build more mass transit, more roads. It's going to pay for more bombs and more data centers. That's all it's going to.
It's becoming such a horrible and dangerous location that Ilhan Omar, one of my favorites, and her brother are thinking about moving together, very much in love. A video has surfaced recently of Ilhan giving a speech referring to World War II as World War XI. And they asked her about that. She thought she got it right.
This is literal fake
but
news.
I'm not surprised because she's a low IQ person. And she's also a very dishonest person. And she ought to get the hell out of our country. She shouldn't be here. She shouldn't be in our country. She also calls her brother.
This is just hate bait. That's all it is. It's not based on any reality. It's just based on throwing a bunch of shit at the wall, like you were saying, eQueer, to see what his pedo cult will hate the most. Will they hate the most for his bullshit lies about her saying World War XI? Will they hate the most for his bullshit lies about moving in with her brother? Will they hate the most about him just saying she doesn't belong in their country? What is his base of terrorists going to hate the most? And that's going to be the thing that they just push out in corporate media for the next couple of weeks until they need something new to hate about to distract from the fact that their beef prices and gas prices are going up, housing is more unaffordable than ever, and also you don't have health care, and also your wages are going down. There's that.
Their husband, number one. Omar is reportedly being investigated for fraud. She revised her net worth. I was shocked to see that she was worth much more than $30 million.
Oh my God! As this guy literally gained more in the first 2 years of his in the White House than he has in his entire career, and he wants to yap about Ilhan Omar. This is it's always projection. Remember this. It always comes back to projection every single time.
And then when the press got on her, she revised it slightly downward to less than 18,000. So she went from much more than 30 million to 18,000.
Also
I know
bullshit.
Democrats, and the word Democrat is something that's come into fashion.
It's just so pathetic. But and here we go with. Hang on, wait a minute. Where's the? Did I not? Let me see. Well, I guess this. Okay. Well. Okay.
But just like my presidency, the second time is always better. It's always better. And the third time will be better yet.
Oh my God.
I'm only kidding.
Again, the corporate media just loves this. They don't care. They would rather fight more for proximity to power than they would for the First Amendment. That is a simple fact. That's why they're there, right? They want to have the proximity to power. They don't care that this pedophile is trying to illegally violate the Constitution and run for a third term, which is of course illegal and not allowed. But they don't care. they'll still yuck it up. Oh, yes, we would love a third term for you, Daddy Donald. Oh, we would love that. Please, please let us call you Daddy. There needs to be a complete turnaround in the way we view the press in this country. We need to stop supporting corporate news, especially the New York Times. Abolish the fucking New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, hell, even MS Now, MSNBC, whatever the fuck they're parading themselves around as nowadays. Stop trusting them. There are a few relative instances where they can be trusted, but by and large, this is what they support. They're there laughing about a guy talking about breaking the Constitution, which he's already broke multiple times, just with the emoluments clause alone. All your money is going to be taken away. Yeah, to his friend. Exactly, Rabbit. Well, we see it every day. I mean, our taxpayer dollars go to fucking Elon Musk, the pedophile. Please let me on the island, Epstein, to get his fucking contract. So Roman numeral 11 is to, well, yeah, that's the point, right? It's just unbelievably stupid bullshit that they throw out there. It's throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks, and whichever shit glob his pedo cabal latches onto, that's the one that they're gonna go for to try and gem up an outrage. No way! America's great again! Yay! It's so great! Oh, we have a trigger mega pedophile. NIV Bradford asks, isn't Antifa a terrorist organization? Hey, isn't Trump?
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
NIV Bradford, did you catch that?
On the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
NIV Bradford, hold on.
Trump is on the Epstein list.
NIV Bradford, did you catch that? Hold on, buddy. I want to make sure. Did you catch that?
Trump is on the Epstein list.
You caught that? Okay, good. Just want to make sure you caught that. Yeah, so sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, pedophile. Man, Obama really scared his idiotic racist self. Yeah. Well, that brought out all the closeted Nazis to be against America. Look, I've been enlisted by the Democrats. They definitely do better on my way to socialism. I'm there. Yeah, Carrot, don't get me wrong. I said this on my stream Friday, I think it was. I have been a loyal Democrat all my life. The simple fact is the Democrats did not leave. I did not leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me because as I am still in favor of taxing the rich, health care for all, and a living wage and more unions, I'm still in favor of all of that, right? But the Democratic Party has turned weaker and weaker and weaker and sided more with corporations, and they have just completely dropped to all fours and spread their cheeks for the fascists. Every socialist government that had a shot at doing a good job, the USA fucked up because they couldn't have it. Well, yeah, they can't have an example of something successful. Corporate media talking heads make 10, 20 million a year, so they insulate. Yeah, exactly. Well, look at Jake Crapper. I mean, that motherfucker's he's not gonna get affected by any of this shit. I mean, hell, he's got a fucking golden parachute so he can flee the country if shit really went south. Oh, we have trigger mega pedophiles. We got two of them. T Borsellino 4515. Hey, T Borsellino 4515. Did you know that you're a pedophile? And also,
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
Trump is a pedophile, T Borsellino, and you are too. Corporate media. Oh wait, I already said that. The Democratic Party exited stage right. That's exactly correct, eQueer. It's exactly correct. And here, this is a great example of it. I can't remember I think it's Melissa Zhang. I can't remember her first name, but like she's out here yucking it up with saying shit like this.
Make sure it carries her through to the next 250 and beyond. President Trump, I've covered you for a long time, and so have many reporters in this room. When we ask questions, you push back, you give us answers, and we
push back by calling him a fucking piggy, by inciting terrorist attacks against them, by tweeting at them at 3 in the morning while he's on the crapper. Fuck you, Zhang. Jeez, fuck this lady.
back. You have always been a deal guy. Well, that's the deal.
Oh my God, this is
The First
embarrassing.
Amendment is a done deal. And that's what we toast tonight, the freedoms that brought us back together even after they were threatened. So let's raise a glass to what makes ours a beautiful country.
Jesus Christ.
And now, make sure.
And the establishment's Democrats will support this. They'll be like, oh my God, what a great moment. What a great moment of camaraderie, of bipartisanship. What a great moment. Yeah, but prices are still high. Nazis are still going door to door, kidnapping and killing people, and we're bombing babies overseas. Yeah, but look at the bipartisanship. Oh, it makes me so happy. So, okay, so Democrats, so what are you actually going to do to, I don't know, maybe improve our life? Can you just look at the bipartisanship for once? This is also rape culture. This is pedophile culture. Make no mistake. By normalizing Trump, this, I really think her name is Melissa Zhang, or it starts with an M, but I'm just going to call her Ms. Zhang, I guess. She is normalizing pedophilia. She is normalizing rape. She is sitting next to a guy who raped children with Jeffrey Epstein, who potentially maybe even ate the children and definitely helped bury the bodies at Mar-a-Lago and at the Zorro Ranch and elsewhere, and also raped women like E. Jean Carroll. So this fucking fraud needs to go down in the history books as a villain. There is no world where this person should have a place in polite society ever again. She should never have a job. She should never have a home where she cannot be constantly hounded and shouted at for enabling this pedophile, this Nazi, this rapist to destroy America. She has no place in polite society. The only place that she has in polite society is behind fucking bars with every other Democrat that enabled this pedophile Nazi. Smooch that butt, lady. I mean, she did. That ass was fucking covered in saliva. Democrats left me when Obama dropped the public option. We could have done even better, but that's when it really hit. Then Citizens United, not a single media cycle or politician talking about it. I totally get that, Rabbit. For me, I was a little bit later in the cycle. I still like Obama generally as a president and as a person, but don't get me wrong, I have plenty of criticism about him. But I do respect him as an individual. So mine was a little bit later, but I respect you for that being your turning point, right? I totally understand. She's full of shit. Yes, she is. They hate Mandani because he shows the corporate Dems could help us if they wanted to. Yeah, and they choose not to. Imagine how much more powerful we would be if the corporate Dems were to help us. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I hate them, but I feel like a lot of the top politicians know what's going on with the yo-yo of Republicans fucking shit up and Democrats coming in to fix it. Absolutely care. There is a revolving door of the lobbyists, right, and the special interests. It's 100% a revolving door. Sinclair Fur, gas, groceries, clothes, shoes, everything you need is way more expensive, correct? The Democrats at least want to feed us and give us health care. Yes, well, some of the Democrats. You say that kind of stuff to John Fetterman, and he'll just call you anti-Semitic. But other Democrats, again, like AOC or Mamdani or myself, yeah, they definitely do. So Hunter Biden has a really good take here. It's really interesting to see some of his read and hear some of the things he's saying. I watched Trump's speech at the Correspondents' Dinner last night. It's hard to articulate how sad it made me. Sad and embarrassed and exhausted. Here's the thing about a man who is a joke. He can't tell one. Ooh, that's good. People think humor is a talent. It isn't. It's a capacity. To make someone laugh, you have to be able to laugh at yourself. And to laugh at yourself, you have to step outside of yourself and see what everyone else sees. For 1 second, you have to be just another person in the room. Most people can do this by the time they are 9 years old. He has never once imagined it, not in 50 years of cameras, not for a second. This is not a quirk, it is a symptom. The muscle that lets you tell a joke is the same one that lets you feel what another person feels. A man who cannot survive being laughed at cannot imagine being anyone but himself. He will only ever be genuine when it is photographed. He will only ever be kind when it is filmed. There is a name for it. So he stood up there and did what he always does. He hit down. He made jokes about people's weight. He made jokes about their intelligence. He made jokes about how women look. He read out the names of people he doesn't like and mocked them, always mocking. And when no one laughed, he blamed his speechwriters. The cruelty dressed as humor was worn so thin. And for the 30% of you still in the cult who will inevitably call me a crackhead and blame it all on my dad, all I can say is, please, for the love of God, open your eyes. Wake the fuck up, have some dignity, have some pride. Joe Biden wasn't standing at that podium last night. Donald Trump was. And at the end of it, he put on a red hat that said Trump 2028 and told the room he was running again. No one laughed because everyone knows he has no intention of leaving. Just another joke at our expense. He's had a really interesting turn lately, right, with everything that he's been through, and I support it. I'm kind of here for it. Chairman Africa, welcome. I'm kind of here for it because we need people with his platform to be able to speak about this. And if you read the stuff he's saying, I mean, it's pretty accurate. This is what I've been saying about him for a while, too, is And I see it all the time in comics who can't make fun of themselves. They tend to not be very funny. Generally, it's not 100%, but by and large, you have to be able to make fun of yourself to make fun of others. And I think this is also part of the reason for the downfall of Bill Maher in a way, because I think Bill Maher has gotten so high off his own supply that he's no longer able to make fun of himself, right? So then his stuff, and also his takes have just gotten worse and worse over time. So I think this is a very nuanced take, and I think it is very spot on, personally. Dems keep hammering the message of Ken Martin, chair of the DNC. Kitty Lifestyle, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm covering him in just a bit here. Republicans having the platform fiscally conservative being the opposite, and Democrats being liberal fiscally, but being the responsible ones. Trump's a psychopath now with dementia. Yeah. Agreed on all points. So this is Semaphore newsletter. CNN leadership was furious about Trump's comments about Caitlin Collins, et cetera, et cetera. So the White House Correspondents Association and the Press Corps have struggled with how to celebrate work that's often flattering to the president, as the president loudly complains about and tries to undermine that very work. The White House Correspondents Association decided to book a mentalist this year. The group had to cancel the comic at last year's dinner after she'd angered Trump's team. Oh, my God. So fucking pathetic. During Trump's first term in 2019, the organization replaced the comedian with a historian. What's better than press freedom history at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night? COVID bailed the White House Correspondents out of booking a follow-up act in 2020. It's an annual dance that's gotten increasingly tiresome for many in the White House press corps, some of whom seem ready to heed Baker's advice. CNN staff in particular are livid about comments the President Trump made about anchor Caitlin Collins. CNN execs and leadership have attended the dinner and participated in the annual festivities, partly as an opportunity to celebrate the network's hardworking journalists and partly to avoid the optics of making a political statement by not going. Oh, yeah, God forbid a news network make something political. Wow! It's not like they have an entire, I don't know, politics section and a politics desk, but God forbid they make a political statement. Oh, wow. Not like their entire organization is inherently based on the First Amendment, which is in and of itself political. What this comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, is just simple fucking cowardice. That's all it is. They're afraid of invoking Trump's little impotent pedophile wrath, of, throwing the FCC at him or having ICE raids or the FBI subpoena shit. That's all it is. So they would rather go on with business as usual than actually stand up and fight for their country and fight for their rights. They won't even fight for their right to party. It's pathetic. Where was I? But following Friday's dinner, some network leaders internally discussed the possibility of scaling back the network's presence at the dinner next year. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. Or skipping it altogether if it's going to be a platform for making crude remarks at their employees' expense. What did you think was going to happen? This is so fucking stupid. Of course he was going to make fun of you guys. That's his entire platform. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have solutions, right? He doesn't have remedies. He doesn't have answers. All he has is cruelty. And that's the only thing that sells. And he's also a pedophile rapist that you guys platform. Repeatedly. Jake Crapper literally kissed the fucking ring, called him, I'm doing everything I can for you, sir. The last time that Tapper interviewed Trump, and Trump still made fun of him. These people will never fucking learn. You cannot appease a fascist. If you're getting attacked by a bully, rolling over is not going to do shit. The only thing that's going to stop the bully is punching him in the fucking nose. An executive at another TV network appeared to agree with CNN's frustration when I asked them over the weekend what they thought of this year's spectacle. Another Washington media boss I spoke to pointed out that the White House Correspondents Association could have used the do-over as an opportunity to reimagine the event, but instead, on Friday night, the organization congratulated itself on throwing essentially the exact same dinner it had planned for April, and got the result, a critical and insult-heavy speech that many had feared then, before the violence. The verdict from this exec, missed opportunity. Again, this is like, stop trusting corporate media. Corporate media is the enemy. I'm telling you. Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, New York Times, these are the people to hate. These are not the people to trust. You need to continuously do your own research on this, because so many times, whether it be Israel says, ICE say, the police say, Trump says, so many times it's full of bullshit. Stop blindly trusting the corporate media. Oh, we have a trigger MAGA pedophile. Cornwall Struvenheim 83 says Democrat, fiscally conservative. Oh, man, what a great own. You called me a Democrat? You know what's also a great own?
On the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list.
Oh, more MAGA pedophiles are coming in. Pew Pro, Richard Jordan, 51.5. Hey, it doesn't matter what you guys say about me because your leader is a pedophile. Donald Trump is a pedophile.
Yes, he is. They can shred the darkness, but the truth still.
Hey guys, Donald Trump is a pedophile. I don't know if you've heard, but I don't know if you heard this yet.
Trump is on the Epstein list.
Just want to make sure we're all clear that.
Trump is on the Epstein list.
Are we clear on that, class? Any questions? Any questions before moving on? I just want to make sure that you know.
Trump is on the Epstein list.
Any questions before I move on? That's what I fucking thought. What message are they hammering on Ken Martin? Wait a minute, hold on. Democrats have said multiple times during my lifetime after disastrous Republican administration, I'm not a Democrat, I'm a realist and care about truth and facts. Yeah, I feel the same, Carrot. Cannibal too. Yeah, Sinclair. There's more evidence about Trump and Epstein and his pedo cabal eating children than there ever was in the oh Christ, what was that WikiLeaks thing? The Podesta files or whatever it was. What message are they hammering? Cornwall laughs at $42 trillion in debt under Daddy's watch. What message are they hammering on Ken Martin? I'll get to that, Carrot. I got that coming up. I'm a leftist. Democrats. I'm a left. Democrats are moderate right, IMO, and many others in opinion. Fallacy that Democrats can whore after corporate dollars and be competitive. Yeah, Kitty, that's the big problem that we're having right now is they're so tied to the corporations that they can't bother to, fight for the people. Fascist how? By telling the truth. That's what they don't like about me the most is I'll sit here every day and say,
Trump is on the Epstein list.
terrorism like killing schoolgirls. Yeah, exactly. Stop trusting the police for that matter. They lie. Yes, E-Queer. That is a very, very cruel. Joey! Welcome, Joey. Get out of here with your constant TDS. That constant Trump dick sucking had got to be hard on the throat. What's up, Joey? Good to see you. Welcome. All right, so let's move on from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So keep in mind, as I've said, the Republican pedo party are not only child rapists, terrorists, adult women rapists, they're also con artists. Paul Wolchak took $10.9 million out of his nursing home employees' paychecks, their Social Security, their Medicare, their taxes, and bought a $2 million yacht. Sentenced to 18 months and $4.4 million restitution. His mother attended a $1 million plate Mar-a-Lago dinner. 12 days later, full pardon. Full pardon. He never spent a night in prison for defrauding people out of almost $11 million. Wait, this isn't the right one. Did I miss the slide? Hold on. Missed the slide. Hold on. Is it here? Fuck. Where is it? I'm going to come across. Oh, here it is. Michelle Fiore raised $70,000 to build a statue for a Las Vegas cop killed in the line of duty. She spent it on cosmetic surgery, her rent, and her daughter's wedding. A jury convicted her in 2 hours. Trump pardoned her before she was ever sentenced. So I do just want to say, she got $70,000 for cosmetic surgery. I really hope this wasn't the final product. I'm just saying, look, it's not misogyny. I'm just thinking about, the logistics here, right? If I got $70,000 to fix my fucking nose, I would not come out looking like this, okay? I would not come out with this fucking schnoz. If I got $70,000, I wouldn't have these skinny-ass fucking arms, okay? I wouldn't have these fucking roach legs for biceps, all right? But you're telling me this bitch spent $70,000 and this is what she got for her money? Okay. Maybe get a different fucking plastic surgeon? Did she even get a second opinion for this to be the option? Oh my God. She looks like a Barbie doll that didn't get the GLP-1. Holy shit. But again, what this comes down to, beyond, the obvious here, that they make stupid decisions once they steal your money, they also they're just con artists. I mean, think of this. She raised $70,000 to build for a thin blue line. Love the cops. Back the blue. Back the blue. And then she stole it for herself. For herself. This is truly a collection and a party of the most worst, awful people on this planet. That's all they are. My mother God brother, Joey. She got a soundboard for that song for sound effects too. I know. I need to. I don't. I use OBS Studio, so I need to look. Trust me, it's on my agenda. Not misogyny at all. Okay, good. That makes me feel good. But they're just con artists, right? And this is what they. Okay. This is just an incredible clip.
What do you tell Americans, though, who are looking at the price at gas? And I think a lot of Americans were paying higher prices. At one point under Biden, it went up to $5 at the pump. But I think Americans were told that prices were going to come down. And we saw glimmers of that right before the conflict broke out. What do you say to those Americans who still feel the weight of affordability at the kitchen table?
Well, I will tell you that when I talk to the president, he has empathy for everybody. And we talk about gas prices, and the president's doing everything he can to get them down. I mean, since day one, he's gone to bat for the American worker. Look at the working family tax cuts and the no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. He really cares about.
This is the guy who literally said, what do you think about people suffering with prices? I don't think about it at all. I think that's what.
Affordability is a hoax.
I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing.
There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up.
What are your plans for the housing bill, Mr. President? Are you?
I don't know. I think it's so unimportant by compared to the Save America. Big deal. It's a yawn. We're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up.
Great empathy. He's got about as much empathy as Ted fucking Bundy. These are just the worst people. And this is his own voters that are getting fucked. And they're buying into this stupid shit, right? This is his own people that are supporting it. They're getting conned. And honestly, the best thing for our economy, the best thing for our country, is for those Trump pedophiles to continue. His base needs to be bankrupted, right? Let them bankrupt themselves. That is the best fucking thing that could happen. Because then if they're bankrupted, they're not going to be able to spend time to vote. They're not going to be able to spend time for terrorist activities, which they do, whether it be shooting up black supermarkets or terrorizing Muslim neighbors or dressing up as ICE and beating up Mexican-looking people. And they also won't have money to donate to Trump and Republican politicians. This is the best thing possible. We on the left just need to continue focusing on our community. We need to continue banding together. We need to continue saving. We need to continue working. We need to continue doing what we're doing. And we absolutely need to still stay on the attack, but they're going to kill themselves because you know how they love to say, like, the left is trying to kill us. They all want to kill us. We don't, and even if we did, they're going to kill each other before that happens. I have a great slide to show you this in just a moment. Why? So TPS for Haitians officially expires tomorrow. ICE is planning big operations with Springfield, Ohio among the targets. Again, this is what I'm talking about. This is a terrorist organization. This is what our money is going to right now. So any Democrat, we need to draw a line in the fucking sand. Any Democrat that is not only against abolishing ICE, but also prosecuting ICE is a DOA, right? They're dead in the water. We can never have someone like Newsom. We can never have someone like Pritzker. We can never have someone like Ossoff, who are these centrist hacks who will not abolish and prosecute ICE. There is no future where we not hold this terrorist organization accountable. There is none. My cousin keeps posting Nick Shirley fraud stories. I keep showing him stuff like this. Doesn't work. Yeah, Rabbit, I wish I had an answer for that, but they're clearly sounds like they're just so deep in the rabbit hole that they're going to have to come to terms at some point on their own. I don't care about you. I only want your vote. That's the Trump mentality. Empathy. Telling about Trump is on the Epstein list. Worst tax bill for the workers in a long time. People have zero curiosity to believe this shit. No care for epistemology. Epistemology? Hold on, I got to Google that. I thought epistemology was like a doctor term. Theory or knowledge, especially with regard to its methods, validity, and scope. Epistemology, the investigation of what distinguishes justified belief from opinion. Ah, yes. So the search for fact, basically. 2 years of no tax on tips to followed by huge breaks for the wealthy. Funny how those will be in effect when the next president is in office. Hey again, Joey. Yeah, because that no tax on tips thing was just a distraction, so then they could basically give even more money to the wealthy. So, the couple hundred or maybe even 1,000 or two that no tax on tips would save you generates millions to the upper class. ICE deported a man to Mexico in violation of a court order in November, acknowledged the error, and returned him to the U.S. Then they deported him to El Salvador in violation of court order torture protection. He's currently imprisoned. ICE is a terrorist organization, and again, we cannot support any Democrat for office that is not in favor of abolishing and prosecuting this shit. After ICE shot and killed Lorenzo Araujo, the FBI leaked to Fox News a claim that he was found with possible meth in the van. His family said it was a total falsehood. It was a bag of salt to be used to make an electrolyte drink, and they were right. It was not drugs. The district attorney says we can confirm the substance found in Lorenzo Salgado Araujo's van tested negative for narcotics/illicit drugs. We're not commenting further on the test results as the investigation is pending. Again, any Democrat not in favor of abolishing and prosecuting ICE does not have a future here. There can be no qualms about this. There can be no argument about this. This is our hill that we need to die on. And if the Democrats refuse to support this, then they can become a dead party. We need to form our own. This is also why men posed as ICE agents and detained and assaulted a woman, and Tom Oman is telling everyone that they just have to comply with this. A woman was driving on Highway 211 in Oregon when a vehicle with flashing red and blue lights pulled behind her. Believing she was being stopped by law enforcement, she pulled over. Two men approached her vehicle. One was carrying a rifle, and they claimed to be ICE agents and told her she was being detained. They pulled her out of the car, searched her, and put her in the back of their vehicle. Then a third man, who remained inside the vehicle, assaulted her. He told her he was the guard. The men were wearing tactical vests labeled police, carrying fake badges, and wore face coverings. They held her for nearly 20 minutes before telling her she was free to go. Then she drove herself to the hospital. While she was there, she reported that she started receiving text messages, someone claiming to be a law firm, offering legal representation for her detention. Federal authorities later confirmed this was not an official ICE operation. These were people pretending to be federal agents.
David, and they fear this will keep happening.
First at 11, a warning from state police and the FBI after a group of men posing as ICE agents, they say, pulled over a driver in Clackamas County, detained, and then assaulted them. Catherine Cook spoke with community members. And Catherine, it sounds like this might not be the first time.
No, David, and they fear this will keep happening as long as actual ICE agents conceal their identities and refuse to show warrants and other arrest documentation.
On this dusty stretch of Highway 211, east of Woodburn, 3 men, allegedly posing as ICE agents, pulled someone over and assaulted them. This, according to Oregon State Police and the FBI. They say it happened the afternoon of July 17th. Investigators say the men were driving a blue or gray SUV with no license plates that had flashing red and blue lights. The men wore green shirts, face coverings, and tactical vests labeled police, and one of them had a rifle. After pulling the victim over, police say the men forced them out of their car, searched them, held them in their SUV, and assaulted them before finally letting them go.
This is the kind of attacks that we were afraid would actually happen. We know that when ICE roams the streets without any kind of identification, any kind of accountability, that's the message you're sending to people, that this kind of stuff is okay.
Rena Lopez is president of PECUN, Oregon's farm worker union. She says community members have spoken of similar incidents involving ICE impersonators. She's grateful police are investigating this case and alerting the public.
And anyone can put on a mask and refuse to identify themselves and claim that they're ICE. And these types of incidents are only going to intensify. If they are approached by someone who claims to be an ICE agent, remember that you have rights.
In Woodburn, community members like Luis want their neighbors to remain calm and informed.
A estar alertas, a estar pendientes.
He said, stay alert and look for exact information and stay respectful of the laws. We have the right to remain silent. Organizations like Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition send volunteers to authenticate ICE activity for those who call their hotline. In a statement to KGW, PERC condemned the incident and said the victim's family reached out to them last week. Quote, the reality is there is very little visible difference between ICE kidnapping someone and armed criminals kidnapping someone. ICE is deliberately exploiting a legal gray zone where people aren't sure if they can call 911 to report violent traffic assaults from unmarked people acting like police. This is a human rights issue endangering all Oregonians.
So that's kind of a crucial thing here, is that even if you were to call the police are on the side of ICE, right? They're going to most of the time, if you call and say, hey, can you verify that ICE is pulling us over here? The cops are just going to say, just fucking do it. Just comply. Just comply. That's why this whole just comply thing is bullshit. Because as you see here, you just comply, and these people assault you, and they can steal your shit. They could beat you. They could abuse you. They could rape you, which has also happened. So this whole just comply. No, we're not going to just comply. This is fucking America. We have rights in this fucking country. Show a fucking warrant or get the fuck out of my face. That is the answer. Show a warrant, show probable cause, or I have rights. And we do have a Second Amendment right in this country. And frankly, it's a fucking miracle that a country with this many goddamn guns, that shit hasn't popped off yet. It's truly a miracle. Because these ICE Nazis continuously pull over and assault and murder people who they later admit were not even their fucking targets, right? They got the wrong person. Repeatedly, they say that. And yet, they get away with it. Because, unfortunately, the back the blue bullshit seeps into the Democratic Party as well. But it truly is a miracle, because one of these days, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. One of these ICE Nazis is going to pull over the wrong fucking person, and they are going to get John Wicked. That's what's going to fucking happen. And I'm telling you, when that fucking happens, too fucking bad. ICE fucked around, and now they're going to find out. Because they continuously hide their faces, they don't identify themselves, and they pull over people illegally with no probable cause. And they also refuse to show a warrant. And one of these days, shit's going to pop off, and it's going to be the wrong fucking person. And I am not going to care a single solitary fuck. Because remember what they said about Renee Good. Remember what they said about Alex Preddy. They called them terrorists. They called them violent. They called them radicals. They called them socialists. When all Renee Nicole Good did is try to leave the scene, drive away from the ICE Nazi pedophile, and they still called her a terrorist. All Alex Preddy did was try to defend a woman whom this ICE pedophile was trying to assault, potentially kidnap, and then rape, and they called him a terrorist, even though he was turning away from these ICE Nazis. So when that fucking happens, I am not going to at all be sad for the ICE pedophiles that get hurt. In fact, more than likely, we're going to find out that the person who defended himself did the right thing, and that person should be lionized as a hero. If the right can lionize terrorists, like that fucking Nazi who went to Minnesota specifically because he said he wanted to kill people, then we can absolutely lionize American heroes that stand up to ICE Nazis and say, show me the warrant or I show you my Second Amendment. We need to start supporting that. I will absolutely never call for violence, but if you defend yourself, that is absolutely different, especially from Nazis. Trump scandal says so many seasons they should stop calling it a presidency and start calling it a Netflix series. The only difference is Netflix cancels shows that get too unbelievable. Salt? Wow, we are corrupt. Bath salts. Look at the minor girls now pregnant in the concentration camps. How did that happen? It happened because all ICE is it's an extension of the new Epstein pedo cabal. ICE is the paramilitary wing of the new Tate cabal. That's all they are. They are intentionally meant to kidnap these young children and then traffic them, because a lot of these kids are not being seen again. Their goal is to kidnap these children and traffic them to the Epstein class sex trafficking pedophile cabals. When ICE does get wicked, watch the reaction. They're going to lose their fucking minds. And I am going to say the same fucking thing that I said now. I don't care if an ICE Nazi dies. That is their problem. They said to all of us that opposed them that we are terrorists. They called all of us terrorists. They called all of us Nazis for standing up for them, against them, when they invade our homes, kidnap our neighbors. So yeah, I don't care, and I will not give a fuck if something happens to them. Fuck man, love you man, I'm gonna clock out, I'm a bit sick. Play me that Trump song one more time before I go. Okay, deal, hold on.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
There you go, Joey. Hope you feel better, brother. Sorry you're feeling sick. All right, let me see here. Later, man. Good seeing you. Thanks for stopping by. Hang on, I gotta get my. So I got kicked off TikTok because they're fascist censorship Nazis, and then I immediately got my appeal suspended or approved rather because they're stupid and don't know how to run a fucking platform. So let me get that going again. All right, there we go. So these were some. I'm not entirely sure the context of this clip, but I thought this is a good little learning experience to see what people are doing to fight ICE and what we can do, how we should continue fighting it. Oh, are you triggered, Hanfixar Cablein? Do you want to get banned again? Okay, no problem, dude. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye, buddy. Fuck. Yeah, I probably banned you because you wouldn't shut the fuck up and you were a fucking weirdo about shit.
Girl, tell me why there's a video circulating of a group of black children in an apartment complex who told their Latino neighbors to stay inside because ICE was in the complex looking for immigrants. They went outside with water guns, water balloons, buckets of water, water everything, and started spraying.
So I just want to say this does not seem legit. It's only one guy claiming to be ICE. Normally they operate at minimum in pairs, if not in a... Actually, I don't even think they're doing pairs anymore. Nowadays, they kind of have a giant, goon squad that they travel with. So I don't know if this is fake or not, but I definitely question the legitimacy.
They started spraying the ICE agents.
See, it's only the one guy.
They got them soaked to the point where the ICE agents had to leave. Girl. Those kids were having the times of their lives, girl. Okay, babies, y'all did that. Y'all got to find the video. I'm going to try to find the video and repost it. But, baby, let me tell you, they did their thing. They did their big one. I love the kids. It's getting litty like a titty.
I don't know about this. I really question how real this is. This looks more like a stunt. I could be totally wrong. So my first impression is I think this is a bit. I think this is staged. But let's just say that I'm wrong. And this is an ICE agent. Fuck yes, these kids rule. Fuck yes, that's fucking awesome, right? But I do want to also bring in a little bit of a reality check here, is that the ICE Nazi pedophiles are dangerous criminals. So throwing ice at them, or not, excuse me, ice, throwing water at them and bringing out water pistols, if anything, would probably just give them a justification to open fire. So anytime you use protest tactics like that, you need to understand that you are risking escalation to real weaponry. So that's certainly a tact, and also good for them for standing up for their neighbors. The best thing you can do when the ICE Nazis show up is show up in force, show up in numbers, film it, stay together. That's one of the best things, because what's going to happen is the ICE Nazis try to pick random people off in the crowd, and then sometimes what you'll see, and I'm not saying anyone do this, but you can Google de-arrest just so that you can see it for yourself. A de-arrest is when the ICE or the police illegally detain someone in violation of their rights. So you'll have a group of people come in and form a distraction, and then they're able to get that person that's being illegally detained and illegally arrested to safety. So you can Google de-arrest. I'm not advocating for it at all. I'm just simply saying this is what I have seen in the past. And so the biggest thing is just solidarity. Just make sure that you are there for your community. Stay together and show out in numbers. The more people, the safer you are. I'm not on TikTok. Isn't a bunch of right-wing Nazis on there? There's Nazis that are running the company, yes. But generally speaking, on TikTok, I haven't seen that wing of it, if there are. It seems to mostly be leftists. Trump is threatening Smithsonian funding if they don't rewrite history to make white people feel better about the past. Yeah, I did see that. And again, so now this comes to my next whole thing is, why are we paying taxes? Why are we paying taxes? In a stunning admission, the Trump administration admitted in court documents that it canceled billions in energy grants to states based solely on politics and whether that state was represented by Democrats and backed by Harris in 2024. Interesting to me that as the administration treats Democratic voting states like conquered or occupied territories, you don't have pundits demanding the president respect half the country. Again, why are we paying taxes? Because this is also very accurate. You don't, like, Democrats are always asked, oh, but when you make fun of Texas, when you make fun of Florida, you're insulting half the country. Well, what about Trump? Trump does that shit on the daily. He does it at every fucking night at 3 in the morning when he's doing his little rage poop tweets. So why in the fuck are you only saying that about us? Right? Why are we always the ones that have to abide to a different standard while you guys let him do shit like this? Has serious implications. I don't want to open the fucking link. It's going to be paywalled anyways. Oh, maybe not. Why would we bother to give a shit? And also, why are we paying taxes if this is all if our taxpayer dollars not only doesn't get to things that we have already voted for it to be used for, it just goes to fund a fucking pedophile ring with the Tate brothers and support their, getting out of charges and pardon people like this guy and this guy. Why are we paying taxes? What's the fucking point? Where was I? Hold on. Was it here, here, here? And again, why are we paying? Republicans are child killers. Look at this.
What I'm most excited about.
I actually got to speed this up a little bit. Pause. Oh my god.
Announcement.
Basically, Florida Surgeon General says the state will end vaccine requirements for kids in school and wants to end all mandates. Who am I to tell you what to put in your body? It's a gift from God. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. That's unbelievably stupid. The average mortality rate of children during that time frame in the 1700s or whatever it was, or the 1300s, feudal age, before vaccines, was incredibly high, and kids died all the time. Well, the mortality rate of women after post-childbirth was incredibly low. Women died all the fucking time, and now they're doing it to us again. Again, Republicans are child killers. Why are we funding terrorists like this whose entire goal is simply to kill children? Why are we funding this? Why are we funding this? We're funding this. This is all just one giant club, and we ain't in it. This is exactly correct. Elite class solidarity looks like Kristen Welker laughing it up with white nationalist Stephen Miller. Welcome back, Key Lifestyle. Again, why are we funding this? My son was on my wife's lap when the IDF shot him in the head, the Sunday Times. Why are we funding this? Why are we funding this? Why are taxpayer dollars going to this? KJ asks thoughts on communism. KJ, tell me what you think communism is. Why don't we start there, buddy? Again, why are we funding this? This is a terrorist attack. A breakdown of how the incident in Tel Nablus unfolded. The Palestinian man, Farouk Ramadan, initially appears to be trying to protect another Palestinian, likely his brother, when an armed settler hits him in the head with a rifle. As he moves away, he is kicked or struck from behind. Still, he retreats again. Israeli settlers or the surrounding soldiers, under whose protection the incursion appears to be taking place, then fire live shots. The sounds of gunshots can be heard clearly in the video. An armed Israeli settler then charges directly Ramadan and a fellow Palestinian with a gun raised and pointed at their chest, closing distance between them as gunshots are heard in the background. Ramadan disarms him, takes the rifle and aims at the settler and purportedly shoots him dead. On the sequence visible in the footage, it is clear he is acting in self-defense against an imminent armed threat that the terrorist attack senior Israeli officials are calling it and using to justify pogroms in Palestinian villages. 5 Palestinians were ultimately killed in the broader settlement and Israeli military forces attack in this incident. Dozens more have been wounded and property damaged since. Why are we funding this bullshit? So I think that's Ramadan there on the left. He doesn't have a clear line of fire. They got a fucking kid with a fucking pistol here. Jesus Christ. Israel is out of fucking control, dude. Look at these kids are watching all of this. Jesus Christ. Israel is an insane fucking country. These kids are watching it. Not only they're watching it, they're cheering it on. This is fucking disgusting. Fuck Israel. Holy shit. That's what a terror attack looks like. And as usual in the West Bank, the terrorist is the Israeli and the victim is the Palestinian. I think this is the same footage. The moment a Palestinian man sees an assault rifle from an armed Israeli settler who was threatening him during a settler attack on the village of Tel, southwest of Nablus. The Times of Israel, citing an Israeli military statement, said, yeah, well, so it's basically bullshit, said dozens of Israelis had entered areas A and B of the occupied West Bank on what the IDF called a hike, despite those areas being off-limits to Israelis. The group included armed settlers. A Palestinian man snatched a rifle from one of the armed Israelis, who charged at him in a threatening manner with his gun raised and aimed directly at the Palestinian. The Palestinian man then shot dead a 32-year-old settler who served in a settlement security unit. Israeli forces then shot and killed the Palestinian. 3 other Palestinians were shot dead immediately afterward in what Palestinian officials described as a field execution, and 8 others were wounded in the Israeli settler and security forces attack. We're funding this. Our taxpayer dollars go to... Our taxpayer dollars goes to pay for this fucking creep's training, for their equipment, for the guns. Why did he take the strap off? I guess he wants to be able to aim it better. No, he probably wants to use it as a cudgel. We're paying for all this. All these fucking children here that are watching this is all paid for with American taxpayer dollars. Why are we paying taxes if this is what we get and we don't get health care and we don't get education here? There is no point in paying fucking taxes. It's the same reason small towns never change. Aging boomers want everywhere to be a quiet tomb. Yeah, the aging boomers. You get off my lawn. It's that whole mentality. Paul Sapko, I don't care what's more cringe, being a tanky LARPer or a grown man rage baiting. How being a fucking loser in my chat like you. That's another thing that's fucking cringe. A horrific video captures the moment the Israeli army opened fire and murdered 4 Palestinians in cold blood. So this is a different angle of, I think, the same incident. Terror stormed the village. No, is this the same? Tal? Yeah, Tel. Okay, so somebody's misspelling it. West Bank. Tel Nablus. So everyone spelled it different. He spells it tall. This spells it Tel. This one spells it Tel. Shorter with one less L. So I think that's the guy that initially got disarmed, I think? I can't really tell because obviously the resolution is pretty shit. And I think this is after the initial melee where he disarmed him. So I'm assuming these are the Palestinians. And these must be the Israelis. Quantum Traveler, this is in Israel. Apparently it's in the village of, I'm a little unclear on how to pronounce it, but I guess it's Tel Nablus, looks like. But it's basically no more than a fucking field execution. It's disgusting. Paul Sopko 421. I don't care how many times you rejoin, you're still muted for the entire live. Maybe if you want to actually have a conversation, don't act like a dick. Otherwise, just sit and stew. I don't give a shit. You're boosting my algorithm one way or the other. Again, why are we funding this?
World's economy's hostage.
You raised
we
assets.
pay this guy's
I want to ask
fucking
you about
salary.
the assets. NBC News is reporting the Pentagon is actually rationing some defense weaponry amid diminishing supplies. Is America backing away from a larger military attack because its military stockpile has been depleted?
Well, look, we have to take a step back here in that a lot of stockpiles were depleted, not only from what we gave Ukraine over the last however many years, 4 or 5 years, and the administration inherited, the Secretary Hegseth inherited a depleted situation from not only Ukraine, but also the ongoing fight with the Houthis under the Biden administration and a depleted military under the Biden administration. So they have decided, one, they're going to new types of munitions, cheaper munitions, new technologies,
Biden,
but also with these new defense budgets, rebuilding our great military. However,
But you
I want
acknowledge
no.
that.
Okay, so this is bullshit. They're talking about rebuilding our great military. Just a few months ago, our military got $500 billion more than they asked for, and they even told Congress, we don't know what the fuck to do with this money. How do you guys have $500 billion, $500 billion the military got, and they don't know what to do with it? It's not an issue of money. It's an issue of competence, and these people are fucking stupid, and we're paying for it. And why? Why are we paying taxpayer dollars to fund a war in Iran to be a distraction from a pedophile Trump in the Epstein files? Why are we funding this?
I want to be clear.
Do you acknowledge they're depleted, though, at this moment?
I want to be crystal clear. The U.S. military, and I've verified this every which way, has everything that it needs to conduct this campaign as effectively as it needs to be. And I have to tell you, the people that are leaking this nonsense deserve to be in jail.
This is fucking the stupidest fucking... And Catherine, keep in mind, this is Catherine Welker, the woman who was yucking it up with Stephen Vampire Miller, right here. She's on the inside. This is not real journalism. This is just fucking stenography. So he's out here saying, look, Biden destroyed the military, right? Biden destroyed the military. We are completely fucked. We have no money that we need to be able to get funded and get our munitions properly. But also, we absolutely have enough money and we're totally fine. We can absolutely conduct this war with Iran. And also, the people leaking that we don't have munitions, that we, by the way, totally do have, the munitions that we don't have, but we actually do, those people need to go in jail for lying about having the things that we do have that they said we don't, but we do. We definitely do. I want to be clear on that. Like, it's Jack Sparrow logic. That's all it is. You know, he's always like, you know, love, if there was a thing that I could do, there wasn't a thing, but then it was. But then it wasn't. Well, say I did, but I never did I? You wouldn't know, would you, love? Like that. It's Jack Sparrow logic. That's the whole fucking thing here. Is Ukraine the good guys or the bad guys? There are flaws in Ukraine, as there are in any country. For example, Ukraine does legitimately have Nazis in their military, as do we, by the way. So that's a flaw. But overall, Ukraine is the country that is being invaded by Russia right now. That anti-fascist frog, welcome. Good to see you again, brother. Ukraine is the country that is being invaded by a fascist, no less, Vladimir Putin. So overall, yes, Ukraine is the good guys. I want MAGA men to grow balls of accountability. Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Again, why are we funding this? These data centers are being built with our taxpayer dollars. Data Center Alley, a section of Virginia with the densest concentration of data centers in the country, caused the power to flicker across the East Coast.
Something happened on Wednesday morning that you might have noticed but didn't bat an eye. It happened inside thousands of your homes and businesses, and experts say it's a sign the cracks are starting to show in our power infrastructure.
Yeah, just before 8 a.m., the electricity flickered on and off for about 10 minutes. It was the result of data centers in Loudoun County, Virginia. In a story you will only see on News 4, Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder explains why engineers say this seemingly small blip is a sign our infrastructure is in danger.
Experts say the cracks in our infrastructure grid are starting to show as the data center industry consumes electricity at a rate the world has never experienced. Wednesday morning, that crack became visible to millions of Americans inside their own homes in a seemingly small way.
This is what experts are worried about, right? The data centers are such a big load on the grid that they can have detrimental impact on the surrounding grid.
Bob Marshall runs Ting Labs and sells this little device that plugs into your wall to monitor your home's electricity. And it can alert you if something's awry. It's all to prevent an electrical fire.
You plug it in, connect it to Wi-Fi. It takes 30 million electrical measurements every second.
And with millions of these devices in homes across the country, Marshall's data collection saw something that he says should be a concern for all of us. He says at 7:56 Wednesday morning, our lights flickered because the electricity supply dropped, then spiked, then dropped, then spiked before leveling off about 10 minutes later. Electric grid instability felt from Chicago to Boston to Miami. The source, he says, Data Center Alley.
This one event serving...
Like from Chicago, where'd they say? From Chicago to Boston to Miami? Jesus Christ, not only is that the entire eastern seaboard, it's also inland in the Midwest to Chicago. That's insane.
either one building or whatever that data center complex is in Ashburn impacted the entire region here. And, you know, this is what experts are worried about.
Dominion Energy tells News 4 a transmission line servicing a data center failed, so the data centers switched to their own power supply, temporarily leaving the grid. In a statement to News 4, a Dominion Energy spokesperson said, quote, Dominion Energy did not disconnect area data centers from the grid. The data centers' own control systems transferred them to backup power for a very short period of time. Think of it like ripples in water. The data center is switching their power sources to rock, and when that change impacts the water, or the power grid in this analogy, the massive shift in electricity load sent ripples through the electric current across half the country. Ting Labs provided News 4 with this graphic that shows the
So wait,
scale
I need to go back. I'm a little confused on what...
The entire region here. And, you know, this is what experts are worried about.
But what
Dominion
caused it?
Energy tells News 4 a transmission line servicing a data center failed.
Ah.
So the data centers switched to their
backup
own power
power,
supply,
which fucked up.
temporarily
Okay,
versus
got
the
it.
rock. And when that change impacts the water, or the power grid in this analogy, the massive shift in electricity load sent ripples through the electric current across half the country. Ting Labs provided News 4 with this graphic that shows the scale of the service disruption.
Jesus
the company says
Christ.
the colors on this map should all stay the same. The big changes in colors means there's a change in electric frequency. It covers more than half of the United States.
People are working on regulations around this. Is they're concerned that one of these events in the future could cause the grid to become unstable, and it does not come back to normal in a few minutes or 10 minutes.
So basically it's the Jurassic Park system, right? Like they had to shut the computers down. Well, I guess this was more in the book, but they shut the computers down, turned them back on, but they didn't know the electrical fences weren't turned back on. This is more in the book version than the movie. But they didn't know because that's not the way the system was designed. The system was designed because to basically look at like blah, 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 blah. So essentially, this grid could be so disrupted that it has to go to like some kind of a reboot mode. And then, but maybe, just like in Jurassic Park, that reboot mode doesn't come back online at all.
And we're dealing with a real big problem.
That real big problem could be a blackout. In this case, Dominion Energy's safety equipment kicked in, worked as intended, and mitigated the issue.
The whole industry is facing things they've never faced before, and they are doing their best to figure out what's going on and institute preemptive measures. And I think for the most part, they've been able to do that.
Bob Marshall says there is clear correlation between the data center boom and the instability in our electric grid, though he stopped short of drawing causation. But he does say that these types of events are happening more and more regularly than they ever have before. Reporting in Data Center Alley, Drew Wilder, News 4.
Sorry, 1 second. I just had an idea for a comedy sketch. So I gotta write it down. Otherwise I'm gonna forget. Okay, there. I got it on my phone. Big Brain Daddy has eliminated all renewable energy plans to further fuck the country. Exactly. So this is not only people. So our money goes to fund these these data centers because a lot of them get tax breaks, tax shelters. A lot of them get taxpayer funded contracts. All of this shit comes back to us. And what are we getting out? These data centers are not pumping out cars. They're not pushing out shoes. They're not pushing out food. They're not pushing out water. They're not pushing out anything fucking valuable. The simple fact is, all they're providing is slapaganda and computing power for fucking nothing because nobody wants this product, but the billionaires are still pushing it and pushing it and pushing it because they invested billions, even trillions into this industry that is simply not marketable, that people are not wanting to buy, that does not scale, that does not have value in the market. That's a simple factor. We're paying for all of this shit that is essentially going to be a massive national security threat. Like, all it could take, if an enemy actor or a terrorist organization wanted to, all it would take is for them to fuck up one of these data centers for this to happen, and then the power grid could be so fucked up that we can't get it back on at all for half the fucking country. Look at this shit. That could be in our future. This is how Skynet started, goddammit! Why doesn't anyone listen to me? How many Republicans have called for Max Miller's resignation or for him to drop out of his race? None! Because they are a pedophile party. Neither the child's father... Hang on, let me fix this for vertical viewers. Neither the child's father, Rep. Max Miller, nor mother, conservative policy advisor Emily Moreno, admitted to knowing what caused their daughter's injury or that it occurred while their daughter was under their care. Miller's primary theory was that the bruising resembled marks from a seatbelt. Moreno, who discovered the bruises and took the child to an emergency room, suggested the cause may have been something more sinister. Records of the... Wait, which one is Emily? Policy... Child's father, normal... Okay, so Moreno is the mother. Records of the investigation into potential child abuse show that Moreno told detectives that Miller had previously thrown hot water at her, shoved her, and held a gun to her head. Therefore, she couldn't rule out that Miller caused her daughter's fracture. Moreover, a child protection specialist reviewing the incident had characterized the bruising near the fracture as resembling a handprint. Again, we fund this. Our taxpayer dollars goes to fund this guy. A wife beater, a child beater. Our money goes to pay for this fucking creep. Why are we paying taxes? Why are we paying taxes? AI companies are bulk buying rare books, scanning them through high-speed machines that cut the spines off and shredding the originals. This is just a crime against fucking humanity. This is incredible sources of knowledge, this is incredible sources of history, and these AI data freaks are just destroying everything. Everything good in this country, the billionaire Epstein class, like the Ellisons, the people who run Oracle, etc., of course Meta, they're just destroying it. And they get billions in taxpayer breaks, billions in taxpayer contracts, billions in taxpayer-funded handouts. Why are we paying taxes? Again, this as well. Ben Shapiro, there's no evidence Epstein... Oh, I'm sorry, I got to do that. There's no evidence Epstein trafficked children to his island. There's no evidence whatsoever. If there was, like, evidence, then we would, like, have evidence in our hands, right? Because evidence is, like, in your hands. Evidence can be, like, seen. Evidence can be, like, seen and held and heard. Because if there was evidence, then we would have it right now. We would have it in my hands. And my hands are tiny, but I can still hold evidence in my hands. See how tiny they are? Even if they're tiny, I can still fit a little tiny shred of paper there. I can fit a tiny little shred of paper. And on this one, I can also hold a little tiny digital recorder. I can do that. I can hold a little USB drive. I can have that, and that's all that is evidence. See, that's evidence. So if we have evidence of Epstein, we would have it, but we don't have it. Because you know why? Because my hands are empty. So therefore, there is no evidence of Epstein ever driving children to his island. So there we go. That's my Ben Shapiro impression. Jeffrey Epstein, hold my toddler. And yes, that email is fucking real. See for yourself. All right, so here we go. Oh boy, this one's gross. All right, so Friday, December 28, 2018. Keep in mind this was a little under a year before his arrest. Second arrest, rather. Katya has a law firm, corporate law. She also understands blockchain regulations and ecosystem well. Masha Drakova, whoever the fuck that is. Alesia is film director. She's working on human rights VR movie. What the fuck? Alexandra is an actress and art expert, has business ideas. All of them are smart, high energy, and great. I do not understand the context for this. Your friend Alesia told me about the project she is doing, researching a really bad guy that gets children for sex sent to his island. She almost fainted when I told her that person is me. Yeah, but there's no evidence children went to that island. No evidence, guys, right? No evidence whatsoever. It is so weird that Ben Shapiro keeps defending Epstein. You know? Like, brother, take the fucking L. Like, you gotta wonder what the fuck this creep is. Like, obviously, all these right-wing freaks are creeps and pedophiles. Of all the ones to find out that would be a child diddler, I would be shocked to find out it was Ben Shapiro, honestly. But, like Matt Walsh, obviously he's a child diddler. You know, Dave Portnoy, well, he's a rapist. But Ben Shapiro, I would be shocked. But why is this his holy grail? The two biggest holy grails Ben Shapiro seems to have is Israel, which makes fucking sense, and Epstein never did anything with kids. Why? Obviously, he's way fucking wrong on Israel, so of course he's also wrong on Epstein. But again, you have to wonder what the fuck is in his past. What child skeletons are in Ben Shapiro's closet? We need to start asking that. They're leeching off of our grid and need them to bring their own energy supply, aka renewable energy, like solar panels, the very thing Big Brain Daddy eliminated. Yeah, but they also don't want to invest in the solar panels on their own data centers anyways, because that's an extra expenditure for them, and it's less money for them to keep, and they're greedy SOBs that should all be in a prison cell, and worse fates. Trump has canceled plans to sharply escalate the war on Iran over concerns that Iranian attack could dangerously drain the Pentagon's already diminished stockpile of Patriot anti-missile interceptors and other air defense munitions in the Middle East close to zero, per New York Times. The Pentagon has used more than 1,200 Patriot interceptors in the war at more than $4 million each, with cheap Iranian drones and ballistic missiles depleting the U.S. inventory. Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dean Cain privately cautioned that resuming major combat operations would fully deplete interceptors available to U.S. Central Command. A senior U.S. official adds that continued strikes talks have had the opposite effect of what is intended, keeping Iran cohesive and allowing Iranian leaders to focus attention on an external threat. So if you recall, the idea back when by the morons that got us into this thing is that Iran would eventually fracture because they would have, we would be throwing so much at them that they would eventually fragment. And there would be riots, and there'd be factions trying to take over Iran, and it would become kind of an internal faction war, which would give America even an upper hand to bomb more targets, et cetera, create more division, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not what fucking happened in the slightest. If anything, they've done the exact opposite. They've made Iran more united than ever. They have managed to take out all the potential people who might have been interested in diplomacy. And now Iran has the upper hand, still, yet again, because when you have stupid strategies that are based on fracturing the country by taking out the people who might actually be interested in diplomacy, you're going to get this. And here we are with basically Iran being more united than ever, having almost more military capacity than they had before since they've taken out so many radar stations and have so much more munitions now. Well, honestly, seem to have more munitions than we do. This is also what this fucking dipshit was saying, was like, no, it's definitely not true. It's definitely not true, but also it's true, and the people who are releasing the thing that's not true, but it's also true, should be imprisoned. And this is where we end up with. This is what our taxpayer dollars go to fund. We're funding all of these drones. We're funding all of these dipshits that got us into this mess. Why are we paying taxes? We're funding this. RFK Jr. cut salmonella surveillance, cut cyclospora surveillance, cut screwworm research, cut cruise ship outbreak from team at the CDC, and every single time there was a huge disease outbreak directly relating to this. So not only are we paying taxes that should be keeping us safe, from shitting ourselves, and yet this should save us money. But it's not. We still get to shit ourselves, and we still pay the same amount of taxes. What the fuck are we paying taxes for then? Taylor Farms donates $1 million to Trump's super PAC. 1 week later, Trump delays the food traceability rule. Diarrhea parasite breaks out across the U.S. Taylor Farms lettuce tests positive, but then the FDA quietly retracts and claims the test was a false positive. What the fuck are we paying taxes for? This is total corruption. This is why when you have not only a pedophile, but a businessman, right, he's going to be looking out for himself. He's not going to be looking out for America. He's not going to be looking out for our needs. He's going to be looking out for himself to see what best he can bring to his own table. And we can just feed off the fucking scraps. Why are we paying taxes? That's my theme for this segment. Trump ran on bringing manufacturing jobs back to America.
The reality is that manufacturing, obviously you had COVID and all the stuff going on, but it got as high as 12.9 million jobs back here. And then it started to decline, and it simply continued to decline under Trump. So in fact, rather than gaining any manufacturing jobs, we've lost 75,000 manufacturing jobs since Trump arrived. He also likes to talk about the building boom. I think on the show yesterday, he talked about $19 trillion of new investment in America. That is obviously a crazy number. But in any event, when you look at something like factory building, you can see that the factory building went up sharply under Biden. A lot of this had to do with the CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, incentives for clean energy. Companies were out building stuff. Then it peaked, and now it has just been going down under Trump.
Why can I not pause these videos? God, Twitter sucks.
From a peak of $250 billion. Trump also likes to talk about data centers and how much they're going to help this manufacturing boom, so to speak. And in fact, you can see data center construction has gone up a bit. It's up to $43 billion, but not nearly enough to compensate for how much actual factory loss has been achieved. Oops. And of course, data centers employ not so many people. Factories employ a lot of people. So again, no manufacturing boom, no manufacturing renaissance evident in any of the numbers. And tariffs played a role in this. They raised the cost of steel and aluminum and discouraged businesses from building manufacturing facilities here.
This guy has all the energy of R.L. Stein. I love it. And again, this is what our taxpayer dollars, like the CHIPS Act was actually a good thing that our taxpayer dollars could pay for because it resulted in a manufacturing boom. I mean, you saw it here. Well, let me pause. Okay, finally. We saw the CHIPS Act boom through all of this and other manufacturing, And then, what do you know? It dropped off when we got the orange dipshit child rapist in charge. Our taxpayer dollars go to fund this. This disaster is taxpayer funded. So why the fuck are we paying taxes? Again, our taxes go to pay this. Cops sleeping on the job. Good use of the music editing, too. Again, this is what our taxpayer funds. This is what our money goes to. It's not we actually lose money here in LA in street lighting, in public works, general services, street services. We lose money to fund people sleeping on the fucking job. And it's not just the first time. Says, reminds me of the LAPD cops caught sleeping while on presidential detail. Oh, he just woke up. Look, they saw they're being filmed and they woke up.
I got you, man. I got you. I'm going to have to write you guys up, man. Yeah? Unless, you know, you could help me out.
What's that?
You think you could get me a CCW?
There's a process. We can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an LA City process.
Yeah.
You live in the city of LA?
Kinda.
Well, if you live in the city, you go through LAPD. You live in the county, you gotta go through the sheriff. That's just how it works.
Oh, really?
By jurisdiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you guys be safe, man.
All right, man.
You gotta tint the.
Be safe. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Your allegation that while on duty officers failed to remain alert during their assignment has been classified as sustained. This guy does a lot of fucking good work, I'm telling you. Again, this is all, we're paying for all of this. We're paying for all of this. These guys are on the clock. What are they smoking in there? What is that?
They're smoking in the car? You can't be smoking in the car. I caught you smoking in the car. You can't be smoking in the car like that.
Okay.
What's your serial number? What's your serial?
Give me a second.
So the officer fails to ID themselves. That's also against policy. That's also against the law.
Give me a second. You can't be smoking in the car like that. Is it weed? You smoking weed? Where are you going to? You're just gonna take off? Nah. You tell me to wait a second?
Oh, is he on a scooter? He's on a scooter.
What's your fucking serial number?
He's chasing the cops!
You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna cook your fucking ass.
Oh my God!
Look at him taking off.
He's the one chasing the cops! That's incredible,
hey,
dude.
Pull over and give me your serial number.
Pull over! Oh my God, that's incredible.
Pull over.
And keep in mind, he's on one of these scooters, so it is not easy to like manage the scooter while also holding the phone. Damn.
Pull over. Pull the fuck over and give me your serial number.
He's in front of him.
Over. Pull over and give me your. What's your fucking serial number? What's her serial? What's your serial number? What's yours?
44220.
I'm gonna. Was it?
44220.
Say it louder for you. I couldn't hear it.
Me?
Yes.
44270.
You're a fucking coward taking off like that. I'm gonna cook both. I'm gonna cook both of you. I caught you smoking. I caught you when you were laid back in the seat.
Like, it's amazing. Remember how why, if he was innocent, why was he running? Well, if they were innocent, why were they running, right? And also it's amazing because when people are running, they legitimately have a fear because the pigs don't exactly have a good reputation of treating people fairly and, following the fucking law or respecting people's rights. So, yeah, it makes sense some motherfuckers would fucking run. These guys are the law. They have guns, they have badges, they have all the protection of the law, and they still run. He's 100% correct. These people are fucking cowards.
If I tell you to pull over, then pull the fuck over. What the fuck is wrong with you?
This guy is so fucking hardcore, dude.
stuff. Sergeant, get them the fuck out of here. This is gonna be a problem, you guys. He doesn't have to ID himself. He does not have to ID himself. Get him the fuck out of cuffs. We're gonna be doing this. I feel like these cops are all this already. Get him out of cuffs. Enough. Enough of this. No, I'm not chilling out. Get him the fuck out of handcuffs. You all right, brother?
I appreciate you, sir. You have to do that.
Nah, this is why I'm a cop watcher. They know me. So this was over you guys were smoking weed?
I was smoking a fucking vape. All over this, bro.
Over that, bro?
Over a vape.
Tell you, man, this guy is the citizen Batman. Good for fucking him. That's incredible. All right, so I had one of these dipshit magas in my chat a while ago that kind of watched a couple of my streams and was you know lukewarm on some of the stuff I was saying, but was cool with it. But then the one thing he brought up COVID, and was like, "What do you think of COVID?" And I was like, "COVID is obviously a wet market outbreak." He's like, "No, it wasn't." And it's like, okay, well, dude, you're just stupid. I'm not going to argue with you about if you want to believe stupid shit. So then he got all butthurt and triggered about it. And I want to research this a little more because this is Zedio. This is Mehdi Hassan's outlet. So let's see. Tulsi Gabbard departed her role as the Director of National Intelligence. She released what she characterized as a bombshell reveal that former National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease aide, Dr. Anthony Fauci, lied to Congress about masterminding virology research that created SARS-CoV-2, which leaked from a lab and caused the COVID-19 pandemic. It's also amazing this shit happened 6 years ago, and these MAGA snowflakes are still all butthurt about it. Senator Rand Paul, chair of the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, has done the same, releasing a trove of similar uninformative documents this week, which mostly shows some of my co-authors joking around, discussing politics, and changing their minds when faced with evidence. Full disclosure. They mentioned me in the context of complimenting my Twitter game. Paul claims this is evidence that they conspired with Fauci to help him cover up the truth about the lab leak by writing a paper for a scientific journal. The lab leak theory is like, Equeer, please, no, that's not accurate. This entire... Equeer, please don't go down that rabbit hole. Look, stay with me, Equeer. Let's go through this because this document shows this journalistic analysis shows the exact opposite. Oh, I have to subscribe? Documents are not proof of anything besides showing that yet again efforts across multiple intelligence agencies in the Senate HSGAC failed to uncover any hard evidence the lab leak occurred. That's because the sole piece of evidence supporting the version of events is that the pandemic began in Wuhan, where there is a lab that studies coronaviruses. There was also a market where live animals were sold. This is the second part of a two-part series. In part one, I examined how disinformation about the lab leak is being weaponized to attack science and persecute scientists, including Fauci, furthering the advancement of authoritarian erosion of democracy in America. Part two discusses what the evidence actually shows about the origin of the pandemic, and none of it indicates that it started in a lab. Is this still gonna... Okay. God damn it. I have to subscribe to see the whole fucking evidence. Oh, the lab leak hypothesis is highly unlikely. Yes, there is far more evidence of a zoologic wet market outbreak than there is of the lab leak. God damn it. I really wanted to deep dive into this, but I can't because I'm not subscribed to Zedio. Fuck! All right, we'll have to move on. So exactly what I run into. Well, here's the thing about the conspiracy theorists, right? They say it's a lab leak, and then it becomes this, and it's a deadly, deadly, deadly virus, but also it's a total hoax, but also it's only a cold, and also China made it, but also the Democrats made it, but Fauci made it while he was in China, even though he's never been to China. Like, it's just back and forth, back and forth. So this is what it comes down to with the MAGA pedo party that constantly pushes this kind of fake news about the lab leak theory. Speaking to Quinones, Vega said that while reporting on a piece in the wake of the fatal shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minnesota, she was encouraged to include footage of protesters violently attacking people in the streets whom the demonstrators believed to be ICE officers in plain clothes. But Vega said her team could find no credible examples of such behavior at the time. Moreover, Vega said her team was asked to include a supposed moment from a press conference in which the city's Democratic mayor, Jacob Frey, said he wanted local police to fight federal ICE agents in the streets to stop immigration activity, and that the city's police chief rolled his eyes at the suggestion. Vega said her team scrubbed every frame of video from the press conference but never found such a statement, deeming it misinformation. That never happened, she said. We could not find any instance of the mayor saying something like that. So this is the incredible thing about the Republican pedo party's information bubble and machine, right? Their disinformation machine. Like, look at Jussie Smollett, right? Great example. Made up a fake news story to try and get publicity for his failing career. that he was attacked by Trump supporters, right? Didn't happen. He actually hired the guys. And yet, we see the same thing actually even more on the right, because frequently the right-wing terrorists claim, oh, they've been attacked. Oh, I've been graffitied. Oh, my house has been broken into. Oh, my house has been stolen. Oh, my car's been keyed. And yet every single time that happens, it turns out it was them or they got someone else for it. But what the Republican pedo party does with their disinformation machine is they take specific names, right? Jussie Smollett. And that becomes like an adjective. Oh, did you do a Jussie Smollett? Oh, did you get Jussie Smolletted? They're so good at this. So, for example, this kind of thing, obviously the right wing pushes fake news all the time. Look at Nick Shirley, right? This fucking medically stupid moron is out there investigating stuff that's been investigated and adjudicated for years at a time, and he's trying to push it out as if it's something new. And the Republican pedo party latches onto that, right? They push it, they push it, they push it, and of course corporate media, because they're stupid and actually in on the grift anyways, follow the tail of the dog rather than being like, wait a minute, this is bullshit, this has been investigated, you guys are liars. So what we should be saying is we should be giving concrete names and making them an adjective. But I don't know, we don't know who the person is that's requesting this, right? I'm just going to say Stephen Miller. Right? Fuck it. Let's just say, oh, are you trying to pull a Stephen Miller here? Right? Because they're just lying. Make that the adjective. They're always, always, always making up shit, and then it gets pushed out in the mainstream media. And then when it comes time to actually justify it in subsequent articles, the mainstream media can't actually justify it. But they printed it anyways. They got the story out there. It's in people's minds. We need to stop that. And we need to immediately say, oh, the people that said this lie are now saying this? Huh, that's so funny. The best example I can think of is the 2020 election, which is why these questions to congressional candidates and staff appointees for the White House, asking them that is so important, because it's like, oh, the people who lied about the 2020 election are now saying that the lab leak theory is proven correct? Yeah, I wonder why liars would lie again. And we need to find a way to do that. So, for example, Karim Khan is the chief prosecutor that Israel that gave the arrest warrant for Netanyahu in regards to Israel. And I've been wondering, what exactly is the substance of the accusations against him that supposedly he has some sexual misconduct allegations, right? So he did get removed, which is, I still think it's a hit job, but I want to dive into the actual allegations like we did with Lindsay Fifield, and then the other lady. Lindsay Fifield is still a liar, and the other lady, whom I cannot remember, unfortunately, who was correct, ironically, about Graham Plattner. So I want to see the accusations here leveled against him. The International Criminal Court voted to remove the Global Tribunal's chief prosecutor on Friday, nearly 2 years after sexual misconduct allegations against him first emerged, the court's oversight body announced. British barrister Karim Khan was accused of sexual misconduct with a female aide as outlined by the... Okay, so maybe I got to click on this one. Let's see. Oops, what happened here? Whoa, what is this? My browser's fucking up. Let's see. The Hague is the International Criminal Court. Karim Khan faced accusations that he tried for more than a year to coerce a female aide into a sexual relationship and groped her against her will. He's categorically denied the allegations, say there was no truth or suggestion of misconduct. Court officials have said they may have been made as part of an Israeli intelligence smear campaign. And keep in mind that he was investigated and this was found to be not credible. But I just want to see it for myself. Two co-workers in whom the woman confided, the ICC's headquarters at The Hague, reported the alleged misconduct in early May to the court's independent watchdog, which says it interviewed the woman and ended its inquiry after 5 days when she opted against filing a formal complaint. Khan himself was never questioned. But the matter may not be over. While the woman declined to comment to the Associated Press, people close to her say her initial reluctance was driven by distrust of the in-house watchdog, and she has asked the body of member states that oversees the ICC to launch an external probe. So this is a common thing, right? Because, like, for example, you go to an HR. Let's take Fox Fake News, right? A lot of these women made accusations against Bill O'Reilly and others, and the HR basically just covered it up, paid off the women, and moved on. So it makes sense that she'd want an outside probe, so let's see what happens. I see you spoke to on condition of anonymity. Confirmed the request remains under consideration. Those efforts were applauded by those close to the woman who still works at the court. So other than a one-time advance or an arm around the shoulder that could be subject to misinterpretation, one of the people told AP, speaking on condition of anonymity to shield the woman's identity, it was a full-on repeated pattern of conduct that was carried out over a long period of time. So it sounds like the woman confided in others who are then, doesn't sound like they necessarily witnessed it, but it sounds like they were made aware of the accusations over time. While the court's watchdog could not determine wrongdoing, it's nonetheless urged Khan in a memo to minimize contact with the woman to protect the rights of all involved and safeguard the court's integrity. Within days of the watchdog's shelving of the case, the court's work went on. Khan on May 20th sought arrest warrants against Netanyahu's defense minister and 3 Hamas leaders on war crimes charges. 3-judge panel is now weighing that request. U.S. President Joe Biden administration said it was blindsided by the move, with the president calling the prosecution outrageous from blah, 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 blah. Announced the charges, Khan had blah, 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 blah. It's just all the allegations. AP pieced together details of the accusations through whistleblower documents shared with the court's independent watchdog and interviews with 8 ICC officials and individuals close to the woman. All spoke on the condition of anonymity due to the sense blah, 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 blah. I get that. Among the allegations told to AP is that Khan noticed the woman working at another department at ICC and moved her into his office, a transfer that included a pay bump. That's not entirely suspicious, but I think this is just kind of laying the groundwork. Their time together allegedly increased after a private dinner in London. Well, that's not good. Where Khan took the woman's hand and complained about his marriage. She became a presence on official trips and meetings with dignitaries. During one such trip, Khan allegedly asked the woman to rest with him on a hotel bed and then sexually touched her, according to the documents. Later, he came to her room at 3 a.m. and knocked on the door for 10 minutes. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. 3 a.m.? ICC prosecutor? I don't know. That's weird. Other allegedly non-consensual behavior cited in the documents included locking the door of his office and sticking his hand in her pocket. He also allegedly asked her on several occasions to go on a vacation together. Upon returning to ICC's headquarters after one trip, she tearfully complained to 2 coworkers about Khan's behavior and the anguish she felt for not standing up to a boss she once admired. So what's the timeline here? I'm a little unclear on the timeline. Because this was before May, right? Because May 20th is when he sought the charges. This was in early May. Huh. Weird how he suddenly decided to make sexual advances on a woman. Happens to coincide with the timing of investigating Israel. Stephen Miller, Timu Goebbels, he's actually a likely suspect. Stephen Miller is a likely suspect of transmitting every infectious disease imaginable. Coworkers were shocked because Khan always seemed to show exemplary behavior around women and has been outspoken against gender-based crimes. Okay, so that's interesting. They also weighed the accusation against the backdrop of well-publicized attempts by intelligence agents from Israel and elsewhere to penetrate the court, which created a work environment plagued by intrigue and mistrust. But in the wake of the #MeToo movement, no powerful man is above scrutiny, and the co-workers complied with court workplace guidelines that encouraged the reporting of misconduct by senior officials. Again, I support this move. If there is genuine misconduct, then the victim needs to be the one to come forward. After months of inaction, whispered rumors of a brewing scandal, an anonymous account on X called ICC Leaks last week began bringing some of the allegations to light. Okay, so this is sus already. So basically, while he's investigating Israel, this woman's claim is that he's doing something completely out of character, according to these other 2 women that she complained to, right? And made a move pass at her. And then, when she didn't want to proceed with an investigation, suddenly an anonymous Twitter account comes up that starts releasing all the stuff that she didn't want to push for charges on. Sounds like the behavior of someone who is definitely on the up and up. Israel's allies in the U.S. Congress have also seized on the would-be scandal. Senator Lindsey Graham is seeking records about whether misconduct actions played a role in Khan's decision in May to cancel an aide's planned visit to Israel and move ahead with war crimes charges. Fuck Lindsey Graham. Who cares what he says? Khan said in a statement there was no truth in the 30 years of scandal-free investigative work he always stood with victims of sexual harassment and abuse. Khan added that he would be willing, if asked, to cooperate with any inquiry. Okay, saying it is essential that any accusation are thoroughly listened to, examined, and subject to a proper process. He noted that both he and the court have been the target in recent months of a wide range of attacks and threats, some also aimed at his wife and family. Khan's office declined to provide specifics because the incidents are under investigation. Extreme fear to report misconduct. Although the 900-employee ICC has long had zero-tolerance policy on sexual harassment, an outside review of the court's inner workings in 2020 found an unacceptable level of predatory behavior by male bosses, a lack of women in senior positions, and inadequate mechanisms for dealing with complaints and protecting whistleblowers. There is a general reluctance, if not extreme fear, among many staff to report any alleged act of misconduct or misbehavior by a senior official, the review concluded. The perception is that they are all immune. Although the ICC's policies have been updated since the report, there's no explicit ban on romantic relationships, that's stupid, like there is in many American workplaces. And while elected officials such as Khan are expected to show high moral character, there's no definition of serious misconduct that would warrant removal. International organizations like the ICC are some of the last places where men in positions of power treat the organizations like their playground, said Sarah Martin, a gender equality expert who has consulted for several UN agencies. There are so many complaints that don't even get investigated because there's a perception that senior officials protect each other, which makes sense why the lady would want an outside party to investigate it. People close to Khan's accusers say investigators from the court's watchdog, known as the Independent Oversight Mechanism, showed up for an interview on a Sunday and asked for intimate details about her relationship with Khan as her child listened. She brought the child to the interview? I guess it's a thing where she couldn't get babysitting, or is there no father involved? Without any emotional support and aware of the process, she decided not to file a complaint at the moment. A week since, she decided to go up the chain of command, reaching out to the Assembly of States parties to the Rome Statute, which oversees the court and has the ultimate say about Khan's future. Päivi Kakoranta, a Finnish diplomat currently serving as president of that body, not comment specifically when asked if it had initiated a new investigation. In a statement, she asked people to respect the integrity and confidentiality of the process, including any further possible. So the timeline is not very clear because supposedly this happened in early May, and then May 20 of when was this? 2024? When was this published? So they're investigating Israel for war crimes. And then he does something that's, per the two women's own admission, is out of character. And then she reported to the independent watchdog in early May. And then early to mid-May, she opted against filing a formal complaint. And then May 20th, she wants an external probe, blah, 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 blah. And then May 20th is when he wanted the arrest warrants. Also, if it was just specifically him targeting Israel, why is he also sending... People are forgetting this. They wanted war crimes against the Hamas leaders as well. It's not singling out Israel. So basically, why is the timeline? Why do they not give dates and times? Am I missing something? I noticed I'm working at another department. When did this happen? Like, was this 2023, 2022? This is all over. This timeline is so fucked up. It doesn't even give a timeline. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh, Trigger Mega Pedophile. Gas Puppy Garage 3782. I want you to always, always, always remember that no matter how much you try to trash me, you are still the pedophile because
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump.
All right, shut the fuck up, Rumor. I got shit I got to cover here. So maybe there's more details in this PBS organization. Was temporarily removed from his duties at the ICC in June, pending Friday's vote. The session must wrap up Sierra Leone. Lengthy and complicated. Funny Matt, welcome. Hey Matt, how are you, dude? Lengthy and complicated process pitted human rights advocates, staff, and member states against one another. In a statement last week, Secretary of State Rubio says he will pressure member states hours after the vote. Venezuela announced Trump's administration. Khan believed that by launching a political win, blah, 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 blah. So it doesn't even... It says this is a series of stories. So where's the follow-up? Is this a follow-up? Let's see. No, that's just it's just a plug for their website. Removed. UK watchdog upholds ICC prosecutor Khan suspension as U.S. threatens to dismantle court. See, looks ahead after the ouster of the prosecutor. Allegations, court's independent. Okay, this doesn't help. The timeline is not clear, which is very fucking sus. So essentially, pre-May, trying to follow the timeline. Somewhere between early May and before, it doesn't say in this timeline. And it doesn't identify the woman. She's a whistleblower. That's fine. But somewhere between early May and before, in 2020, Karim Khan basically moved her into his office, gave her a pay bump, and then tried to hold her hand at a private dinner and then brought her onto a bed, sexually touched her, came to her room at 3 a.m., stayed at the door for 10 minutes, and then put his hand in her pocket. But there's no dates. There's no times. I mean, times maybe not as it says here at 3 a.m., so why would it not say other allegedly non-consensual behavior when he stuck his hand in her pocket in April of 2023, at a Christmas party at 2024? Like, well, it wouldn't be 2024 because that was beforehand, but like, this timeline is this is so fucking weird because there's no dates listed here, which I don't understand. But basically, from May 2024, early May 2024, and previously, he does all this non-consensual stuff, right? Which also happens to be in the timeline that they're investigating Israel, and of course, Israel, we know, does this kind of shit all the time. They do honeypot operations. So, in that time frame, she wants to go to investigate, but then she changes her mind. She wants an external probe, which I don't think they've actually done yet. Or I thought that they did, and he was found innocent. And then May 20th, they get the arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Hamas. And then after that, lo and behold, an anonymous account pops up. This has all the... I'm sorry, I'm just going to say, this has all the markings of a honeypot operation. This really does seem like Israel is involved. That's because the timeline doesn't make sense. Per the women's own accusation, it seems out of character. Yeah, I'm very skeptical of this. So what are the Dems doing to save our country from fascist democracy? Details on DNC's latest challenges. DNC used its own building as collateral for its biggest ever off-year loan in 2025, per previously unreported docs. Ken Martin was subject of an HR inquiry after throwing a phone near an aide. Oh, fuck. Great! Fucking great. This is our opposition party. Fan-fucking-tastic. Inside the phone-throwing drama at the troubled broke DNC. Ken Martin threw his phone at desk of a junior aide, resulting in HR complaint. Vendors asked not to send bills to mask money woes, leaks, debt, paranoia, and much more with Reed Epstein. Holy fuck. We're so screwed. What else are the Democrats doing? Oh, shit. Hakeem Jeffrey goes to bat for Ken Martin amid reports of DNC turmoil. He has my full support. This is no different than this shit. Where was it? Oh, Christ. Where's that video? Is it further down here? This is no different than that Kristen Welker woman yucking it up with Stephen Miller. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. This is insane. I had been saying that Ken Martin would be a disaster, and the shit libs came after me for that. He has my full support. Okay, buddy. At least the Titanic had a band. Accurate statement. What else are the Democrats doing? Gary Peters and Gretchen Whitmer, we won't be endorsing in the Senate race because we want to leave the decision up to voters. Cool, we think we'll vote for Abdul, Peters and Whitmer. As governor, I want the best for every Michigander. That's why I'm endorsing Haley Stevens for the U.S. Senate. Haley knows how to get things done for Michigan, and she'll fight to protect our state from rising costs. Keep in mind, this was the woman who was caught on a live mic at an AI data center opening saying, oh my gosh, I just can't believe that we can basically do whatever the people don't want and get away with it. Literally, those are her fucking words. Google it, I'm telling you. Who else supports Haley Stevens? Oh, Whitmer is the daughter of the former longtime CEO of health insurance giant Blue Cross, and she's been bankrolled by Blue Cross. Her endorsing against the pro-Medicare for all candidate Abdul El-Sayed is extremely on brand. This is corporate power trying to protect its power. Accurate statement. Who else supports her? Oh, Haley Stevens, so grateful to have my friend AG Dana Nessel by my side as we keep up for the good fight. What do we know about Dana Nessel? Oh, that's right. Dana Nessel, the Attorney General for Michigan, charged anti-genocide college protesters with felonies at the behest of pro-Israel members of the Board of Regents and had to be embarrassed in court into dropping her intimidation campaign. No wonder you and your billionaire donors have her endorsement. University of Michigan recruits State Attorney General to crack down on Gaza protesters. Yet again, if these Democrats can't even stand up against fucking Israel, how are they going to stand up to Elon Musk? How are they going to stand up to the ICE Nazis? How are they going to stand up to fucking Russia? Answer, they're not. We cannot be having these people who throw Americans under the bus in favor of a foreign enemy country, Israel, who, by the way, wanted Biden to lose. Why the fuck are we paying taxes, and why the fuck are we supporting these Democrats? We shouldn't be. So this says, notice how she says absolutely nothing of substance ever. Fight harder for what? This kind of makes me think of the whole Trump thing, like, we need to take our country back. Take our country from who? Who are you taking? We need to take our country back from them. From them. Who? Who are you taking it back from? You're in charge. Who are you taking it back from? So let's see how eloquent she puts it.
Okay, some of you have seen, there's those cool kids on the internet.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Every single time I hear her talk, she's literally like some fucking SNL improv character done by Kate McKinnon. Every single time I hear her, she's like Melissa McCarthy in a sitcom vibes.
They're doing the cool kid chatter.
What is this?
Some of them might be the coastal elites making fun of how I talk. Not okay, says my governor. But let's be real.
I'm sorry. If you speak like this, I'm going to make fun of you. Because you sound fucking weird. I made fun of Barney Frank before he turned anti-left and sounded weird. And yeah, I'm gonna fucking make fun of you if you sound like I make fun of Biden. Guys, come on. You can't make fun of her because the way she talks is mean. You can make fun of me, but you actually, let me hear that again.
They're making fun of Michigan.
Holy shit, you're right. She sounds fucking weird. She fucking crazy. Why are you making fun of me when you got this target? Go on, make fun of her. Like, we make fun of everybody for the way she talks. She's a politician. Public speaking is her fucking job. If she sounds fucking weird and looks like, the female version of the Penguin from the TV show Gotham, I'm gonna make fun of her.
They're thinking they're better than us.
Oh my God, this is so cringe.
And what they don't know.
She's talking about thinking they're better than us while she's getting $50 million from Israel. And you want to talk about other people being the cool kids? I would love to know who in that room got $50 million. I would love to know who in that room even got $1 million from Israel. Who in that room even got $500,000 from Israel? But you're telling me that we're the cool kids, we're the elites, while you get $50 million from fucking Israel? This is so cringe.
Is I am your voice. And their jokes and their criticism.
Oh my God, she's an SNL character. Oh my God, she's an SNL character. So here she is talking about the coastal elites and the cool kids, right? Well, that's interesting. Me, when my folksy denunciation of the coastal elites is extremely sincere. I'll be live on MSNBC around 8:15 p.m. to discuss my endorsement of Mike Bloomberg for president. She endorsed Mike the rapist, corporatist hack Bloomberg for president. And she's calling us the coastal elites. She's calling us the cool kids while she's endorsing the worst fucking presidential candidate that we've had in over a decade in Mike Bloomberg. This is insane. I'm probably autistic and I'm a better public speaker. She really is. It is. She's a fucking SNL character. I don't know how they haven't already done a bit about her, or maybe they haven't. I've just missed it. So keep in mind, this is who. This is.
Yeah.
This is
So
who
we're
she
here with
supports.
Angie Smith.
Or who supports
And
her?
you're from Farmington.
Hi, I'm Angie Smith. I'm from Farmington Public Schools. Top vote getter for Farmington Public School Board. Been on the board 11 years. I am supporting Haley Stevens because she's that candidate. We need someone who can represent all of us, not just one race, but all races. Haley has done great work in Farmington and in Farmington Hills. She knows what she's doing. And anytime you can go to a Democratic convention.
And what is she? I still don't know what Haley stands for. She supports all races. Okay, how? Does she want more civil rights legislation? Is she going to be calling for more enforcement? Is she going to be funding it more? What is she going to be doing for all races? But that's the key thing that gets really ironic here in a minute. Just watch.
And be booed and walk from behind a podium and stand there while you're being booed and things thrown at you. That's our person. So let's vote August 4th. For Haley Stevens. Thank you.
Thank you. When you say, not just for one, what do you mean by that?
Well,
you feel the other candidate is...
The other candidate seems to be he doesn't work a room. You have to know how to work the room. Don't come out speaking only Arabic, don't come out with your Arabic music on. Represent everyone. My DNA is my DNI. Well, my DI. I'm the mother of a lesbian. I'm Puerto Rican and Cherokee with a grandfather that was a white man from Ireland. Represent us all. Don't just represent one ethnicity and one race.
She needs someone that represents all races, and then she uses Abdul's race to attack him. When has he ever spoken only Arabic? I actually don't even know if he does speak Arabic, to be honest. But again, like nothing. When did she say anything about here about what Haley Stevens stand for, right? Is Haley Stevens going to expand your health care? Is Haley Stevens going to tax the rich? Is Haley Stevens going to call for abolishing ICE? No. It's just fucking word salads, because Haley Stevens stands for nothing because she'll take money from every single corporation, including Israel, a foreign fucking country that is our enemy. But hey, at least she's not Arab. At least she's not one of them Arabs. And also, can we just say for a moment the fucking irony of a black woman wanting to target a guy over a race? Like, bitch, do you understand the irony here? Do you fucking understand the irony here? The same shit she's doing is exactly what Republicans would do to her. Not only is it what they would do to her, it is what they are doing to her. It is what ICE is doing right now to Latinos, to Latinas. It is what ICE is doing to anybody that does not look like me. And then when people like me show up to protest, they fucking shoot us like they did to Alex Petty. She is doing the same fucking race bullshit that Republicans do. How is this acceptable? How is this the future of the Democratic Party when Muslims and Arabs are not welcome in this fucking party? How is this acceptable when you target Arabs, when you target Muslims, when you target people that don't look like you, who are being targeted by the very same people that would target you because you look like you and not like them? How is this acceptable? This is fucking insane. Equare says she's bullshitting. Yeah, 100%. Oh my God. Yeah, I know, Deb. This is fucking insane. So, we're in hell. We are just in hell. Where's the bit? Did I move that fucking tweet? Where the fuck is it? Oh my God. I must have closed it. Oh wait, no, it's probably... Oh, that's what I did. Here. So, Haley for Mission, Abdul defended you and made a statement condemning attacks against you. Keep in mind, this is true. So, Abdul had a press interview with Jake the Zionist crapper. I think it was last week, because I don't fully understand the substance, but apparently there were some people that were attacking Haley very viciously and very rudely, crossing the line, which I would never do, for the record. But they were attacking her. And again, I attack Haley Stevens mostly for her policy, but also, I mean, come on. You're going to be a politician, and this is... My governor!
But let's be real.
You're going to be Melissa fucking McCarthy? I'm going to fucking make fun of you. Come on. So, Abdul gave a very clear statement saying that this kind of violent and hateful rhetoric against her is not okay, and it's not acceptable, and if this is what you stand for, I don't want you. We are here to talk about Medicare for all and how Haley Stevens is failing us in favor of Israel, blah, 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 blah. So then Jake Tapper had to throw that in his face, and he went, he pulled up a statement by a video of Abdul El Sayed making fun of the way she speaks, because she does speak fucking weird, and then he also talked about her policy. And Jake Crapper tried to throw that in his face as some kind of weird-ass fucking gotcha. Like, and he did stand up for Haley Stevens. And why, as this person says, why can't you do the same when it comes to nasty and vile Islamophobia? Are the statements of this woman something you support? Why should Muslims in Michigan vote for you? And keep in mind, Muslims are a pretty big representation in Michigan. They're actually a very key factor why Kamala did not, yes, Killer Kamala, Holocaust terrorist herself, did not win fucking Michigan. Update, Stevens spokesperson Eric Wolk tells me Haley disagrees with and disavows his comment. Her campaign is about bringing Michiganders together, not dividing them. And no, this doesn't count. A random spokesperson going to the press to give a generic statement does not compare to what Abdul did for her. I fully agree with this. People are making fun of her voice, and he personally put out a lengthy statement. This is disgusting, vile, gutter racism, and this is all she can say. I'll make fun of her voice. I don't give a shit. Abdul can condemn me all he fucking wants. I'm going to make fun of her voice because she does sound fucking dumb, and she's a horrible public speaker. And frankly, if you're going to work in politics and you sound again, like...
Okay, some of you have seen, there's those cool kids.
Like the weird character that they cast for New Girl that has to be weirder than Zooey Deschanel? Yeah, I'm gonna make fun of you. It's my fucking job. Democratic Party is turning into the OG Republican Party? Yes, they are. I'm glad you said that, because last week I said we're in an inflection point. We're about to be, like, during the last, oh Christ, I can't remember the term, but there was is it a paradigm shift? I think that's what I said, a paradigm shift where the Republicans in the 60s converted to Democrats and vice versa. I think we're about to get into that phase right now. So then we also have Democrats like this.
Do you support the Green New Deal?
No.
Do you support Medicare for all?
No.
Do you support DC statehood?
Yes.
Do you support Puerto Rican statehood?
Yes.
Do you support defunding the police?
No.
Do you support abolishing ICE?
No.
Do you support
Okay, I need no more. Do you support abolishing ICE? No, I'm done. I'm done. John Ossoff belongs nowhere near. This is 100%. Any poll that has John Ossoff or Gavin Newsom is more likely to win a general election over AOC as a junk poll. Well, I don't necessarily know about a junk poll, but I'm telling you right now, any Democratic Party, if the Democratic Party supports someone like Newsom or Ossoff and they become the general, Lori Calvin, welcome back, and if they become the general election nominee, I will not vote for them. I will not. And more people should think like that. Because the Democrats need to understand, if they're going to put up people who will not abolish ICE, a terrorist organization that is raping children in the concentration camps that they run and getting them pregnant, you have no idea how to govern. You have no idea how to meet this moment, okay? This is World War II moment, and rather than getting Churchill, you're trying to run Chamberlain again. And this is not the time nor the place for that bullshit. So Elon Musk had an absolute dumpster fire of an interview with The Economist.
Nonsense.
Elon, you have,
Thank you, Laura
close
Kaufman. I
to
appreciate that.
250 million followers on X.
Yeah, because I'm
You say things like,
a popular guy.
quote,
'Cause
civil
I'm a
war in
popular
Britain
guy.
is inevitable.
Oh my
just
God,
a
so
question
On the car
of
trends,
when.
yes.
When were you last in the UK?
A few years ago.
Exactly. So I live there. I'm there the whole time. That is
Yeah,
nonsense.
you live in a cloistered existence.
No, I don't, actually. And the numbers.
The trillionaire who admits he's never been to the country he's talking about in years is talking about a reporter being cloistered. The dude who has to have literal chat GPT, or I guess it's called Grok, confirm his Nazi views, is talking about another person being cloistered. The irony of this is just, irony is, oh my God. Irony is so dead that iron itself is going to go out of existence. We're not going to be able to build anything metal. We're not even going to be able to iron clothes. Irony is so fucking dead.
Also disprove what you say.
What numbers?
All the numbers about crime. London is a much safer city than any city in the United States. Violent crime in the UK is not where you think it is. In fact, it's coming down. You have painted, and because you have so many followers, so many Americans believe it, a kind of view that Europe and the UK are kind of, overrun with terrifying Muslim immigrants. There's rape on every corner. There's a sort of civilizational
I
destruction.
haven't said any of those things. If you have
He said exactly that.
Large
This guy is insane.
and rapidly growing group of people whose beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs, at some point there will be a reckoning.
The largest growing population that does not comport with Western beliefs and are antithetical to everything American are billionaires. Billionaires are the biggest people that are completely incapable of adapting to American society. They are. They refuse to obey our laws. They rape children. They steal everything from our taxpayer treasury and leave absolutely nothing for us for healthcare, roads, fucking food, anything, education. The biggest and growing number of people that are incompatible with Western values is Elon fucking Musk.
They will try to implement their views, and those who oppose it will oppose it, and that's what you call civil war.
I don't think this fucking creepy motherfucker wants to find out what a civil war is like. I'm just saying. I don't think this doughy fucking flesh-filled dude in a Terminator jacket to cover up his flab wants to see what's going to happen in a civil war.
And obviously, this is the trend. And you absolutely do live in a cloistered existence. And if you'd like, we can go on a tour of Britain.
Sure.
And we can
I'd
go
be
on a
very
walking
happy
tour.
to come on a tour of Britain.
And you will see for your
Again, the dude who has like 50 houses and 20 yachts and 3 personal jets is talking about someone else being cloistered. This is insane. The lack of self-awareness. Holy shit, dude. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. I'm sorry. This is just... He is truly just the worst. I honestly think he's actually worse than Donald Trump in some ways. Because Trump is an overt bully, which if people had any fucking balls, you'd be able to push him back in the corner and just say, fuck you, if people would actually fight back. But this guy is such a fucking weasel. He's begging Jeffrey fucking Epstein via email. Please, 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 Jeffrey Epstein. Please, please, Jeffrey. I would love it if you would let me on the island. My family is driving me crazy, and I got to get away. Like, that was him on Christmas fucking Day when he could be with his fucking family, and instead, this loser is begging Epstein to go to the pedo island. There is something just disgustingly vile and cowardly about that. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's disgusting.
See my country that I live in all the time, and you haven't been to a few years ago.
I've been there literally 100 times.
But when was the last time?
Literally a few years ago.
You know why?
Literally a few years ago. Yeah, like that.
This exercises me because you have really shaped opinion about the UK, and so many Americans I come across and I have conversations with, and and I just had one the other day along the order of, oh, London's such a dangerous place. How can you know? There are sort of grooming gangs everywhere. There's violence everywhere. This is a picture that people get from things that you post or that are posted on X. And for example,
okay, so I actually covered this last week. I'm remembering this clip, but I want to go to some of the commentary. She lives there 365 days a year. Yeah, I know. I can't believe that someone who lives in the place that Elon Musk does not and has lived there their entire life would know more about that than the guy who's literally a trillionaire and goes there every couple of years. I can't believe she would know more. It's such a crazy thought. Oh, shit. I didn't read that quote. What really gets me is he's so inarticulate, even relative to his other tech billionaire peers. Like, how are you 10 levels below Zuck in talking? Oh, my God, man. And this is fucking true. He is such a bad public speaker. You can see why his popularity tanks the more he's in public.
I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't.
And half of those people are bots. And of the, you got 125 million left that actually follow him. A lot of them are just simply people following him to keep up on the news. Because, again, they're journalists, they're activists, they're organizations, this, that, or the other. And they needed to see the next stupid fucking pedo thought that comes out of his mind. So, it's just... And also... Do you understand how pathetic it is to measure your popularity in Twitter followers? Wait, did he call it Twitter followers? Or no, he just said followers. Okay. I got a Cybertruck gang. You hate me now? Enjoy your Tonka trunk that falls apart after the first stoplight.
And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize. Do you realize the media is despised? Do you realize that journalists, the view of journalists is
look at him. Oh my God. He's literally grasping at straws. I mean, he's not wrong is the thing. Like, I could come up with a million different if I was in that chair, I could say, like, you're hated by the media because you wash stuff. You lie about things all the time. You lie about what's happening in Israel. You here in London are arresting protesters for protesting against Gaza, and you guys take the side of the regime, okay? And then every time Trump says something, it's Trump says, and you never, ever stop to think that maybe he's fucking lying. And then when he does lie, that doesn't become the story forever and ever and ever. You continuously just say, oh, well, he says this, so therefore we have to follow him. Like, you would come up with actual concrete reasons to hate corporate media, and believe me, I fucking do. And look at this stuttering little trust fund baby pedophile. Look at him grasp right now.
How the view of journalists is like it's like the favorable view of journalists is like 15%.
I do know that in the United States.
So the shoe is on the other foot. They hate you. They hate you far more than they hate me.
I think there is
also the joy in his fucking face. He's a goddamn psychopath.
Certainly a loss of trust in journalism. I think in part There have been mistakes by journalists and journalism. I totally acknowledge that. But I also think that the kind of polarized environment, particularly on social media, fostered by the kinds of things you are pushing on X, actually helps this, makes it worse.
I don't think so. I think you're the problem, the media, and speaking
No, you.
of loathing,
No, you.
you're loathed
You.
far more than I am, and you don't seem to even realize that.
I think very few people know who I am relative to you, so I don't think I play in the same game.
The media collectively.
It's a funny little bit.
I mean, you're hated.
God, he's just uniquely. He's a like Trump is obviously, like I said, he's the bullying type of evil, but something about Elon Musk is like the pathetic kind of evil, you know, where he never got any kind of money that he deserved. He never earned any of the status or the privilege or the power that he has, and he has absolutely no idea how to use it. And rather than use it for good, he's just a petty little bitch. It's jarring how a man wielding so much power can be so inarticulate and have so little to say. You're loathed. Nuh-uh, you're loathed. LOL, genius. Yeah, I mean, that's spot fucking on. So remember how she was saying like you foment a lot of violence and hate on social media, and he's like, nuh-uh. Ex-owner Elon Musk indicates he would prioritize political violence, assassination of pro-migration politicians is the common sense meaning, over violence against invaders, refugees, asylum seekers, maybe ethnic minorities generally, while endorsing calls for violence, killing against both groups. No point in bailing the boat while traders are still busy chopping holes in the bottom. Elon Musk says yes. So this is from that Nazi pedophile movie. I don't even remember the name of it. I don't care. I'm not going to say it. You're the problem, but please keep my name in the media so I feel important. Yeah, that is so also Trump, too. You know, Trump's like, you guys in the media are hated, but make sure you put my name in the headline. But I hate you, and you're hated. Put my name in the headline. If you don't put my name in the headline, I will hate you more. But make sure my name is in the headline. It's narcissism. It's total narcissism. But going back to this is truly the vibes of a psychopath. And this is why I'm telling more and more leftists, more and more liberals, you guys have got to get fucking armed. This kind of shit is coming your way. We already saw the pogroms that Elon Musk, the pedophile, incited in the UK and in Ireland. We have to get ready. Know your neighbors. Know your weapons. Set up Overwatch. Know your entries, know your exits, and know where to bottleneck people if terrorists come pounding at your fucking door. Be ready. So this has been a big thing in the news. They're trying to pin this on Mamdani. Man accused of stabbing Asian and Jewish men in New York charged with hate crimes. Suspect Raul Morales, 51, was reported to have yelled Allahu Akbar during the stabbings on the Upper West Side near Central Park. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch has said. So the Zionists are trying to use this as a way to condemn Mamdani for being against Netanyahu. And first of all, that's anti-Semitic of them. How dare they be so not openly Nazi, because conflating Jews with Israel is anti-Semitic. Second, let's get down to the story itself. A man accused of stabbing a Jewish man and an Asian man in attacks on Manhattan's Upper West Side was charged with hate crime counts Friday. So the Zionists have tried to frame this as the guy only wanted to hurt Jews. He only wanted to hurt Jews. He didn't have any other goal but to hurt Jews. But the fact that he stabbed an Asian man kind of makes you seem like you're full of shit. So let's see what the actual facts show. Morales was arraigned late Friday on 2 counts of second-degree attempted murder as a hate crime and 1 count each of first-degree assault as a hate crime, second-degree assault as a hate crime, and attempted first-degree assault as a hate crime, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office said. A judge ordered Morales, 51, remanded without bail. The stabbings happened a few blocks apart on the Upper West Side near Central Park, beginning around 1:31 p.m. Morales first approached a 57-year-old Asian man from behind and shouted Allahu Akbar and stabbed him in the back with a knife, a prosecutor said at his late Friday arraignment, according to the District Attorney's Office. So this, right in itself, you know, kind of makes you think it's not exactly targeted towards Jewish folks. Morales then continued walking and encountered a Jewish man wearing a kippah, a Jewish head covering, who had just left a synagogue and stabbed him in the chest with a screwdriver. Wait, what? So he stabs the Asian guy with the knife, and I guess the knife gets stuck, which is good because that would help staunch the bleeding. But then he had to go to a screwdriver? That's fucking crazy. Both victims expected to survive. Mayor's Ornament said earlier Friday. Right, I'm thankful, blah, blah, blah. First attacked around 84th Street and Central Park West. Second happened around 86th Street and Central Park West. I also don't understand how he made it basically 2 blocks in New York without someone beating the fuck out of him. I mean, it's New York. I mean, it's pretty populated, so if he's trying to leave right? He stabs the first guy. I'm assuming he starts running, bolting. So aren't people like shouting like, hey, watch for that guy, watch for that guy. He's doing this, he's doing that. I'm very curious what happened. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious about that. New York City Comptroller Mark Levin at a Friday news conference identified the victim as Chok Sung and Moshe Yazak Grunhaus, who he said Grunhaus was leaving the Jewish Center after attending service marking Tisha B'Av when he was stabbed. Tisha B'Av is a solemn occasion that remembers the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem and other calamities. The Asian man who was stabbed was taken to the hospital with a knife still in his back and underwent surgery Friday morning. Prosecutor said at a Friday's said in the criminal complaints as the witness saw Morales near a synagogue, West 83rd Street, saying justice for Islam. According to material from the district attorney, criminal complaints says the witness saw Morales near a synagogue on 83rd. So he went from 83rd to 84th and then up to 86th. Knew each other or Morales. So he stabs an Asian guy and says Allahu Akbar, and the fact that he went to an Asian guy first, doesn't that kind of show that it wasn't a targeted hate crime against Jews? I mean, this kind of... I'm also... If this was so credible, why in the hell is it way down here at the bottom? Witness saw Morales near a synagogue west of saying justice for Islam. To material from the... I don't know. That seems weird that this is such a crucial point and yet is so far down the article. Hours after a tweet about the Jewish victim, Governor Hochul manages to mention the Asian American second victim. So again, Kathy Hochul, being a Zionist, wants to make this about Jewish people getting targeted, which is a legitimate thing. So when you kind of make the attack that also featured a Jewish person about an Asian person about specifically being Jewish people, that's a problem. You are playing into the very narrative that the fucking Nazis want. By the way, per the news, the Asian American victim was stabbed first, making Hochul's behavior even more notable. Also, an Asian New Yorker, quote unquote. This was a horrific and despicable attack, randomly stabbing Jewish New Yorkers, and in this case, also an Asian New Yorker. Also, it's fucking racist. Like the Asian guy was stabbed first, and you're putting him off to be a fucking footnote? I tell you, no one exposes racism in this country quite like Zionists. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously the Nazis are really fucking racist, but second only to Zionists themselves, who will literally take the first victim of a stabbing attack and completely erase them from the talking points, like as Kathy Hochul did. Or, when it doesn't fit their narrative, it becomes, hey, Jewish people are in danger. Also Asian people, I guess. Shucks. It's fucking despicable. Clickbait, yeah, there's absolutely a clickbait factor here. I don't really know if... I'm kind of tired. I don't know if I have the time to cover these things, but essentially, a fake news accusation against Pete Hegseth got his son taken away from him. So then they had to clear their name, and of course it turned out to be complete horseshit. And my understanding is we don't know who the guy... Oh, fuck it, I'm just going to cover it. Why not? Apparently the Jewish guy was more important. Well, he was important to their narrative, right? Which is what they want to continue on, because they want to build this narrative. Oh, I can't read. I thought this was a gift link. Okay, it is a gift link. Yeah, they were trying to... Motherfucker! They're trying to build a narrative about... The Zionists are trying to build a narrative that because Mamdani is targeting Netanyahu and Israel, and therefore hate crimes from against Jews are on the rise, which is complete horseshit. Hate crimes have been against Jews have been on the rise since Trump. And Zionists are making it worse by equating Judaism with Israel, which is exactly what the Nazis want to do, because that's exactly what they did in the 1930s. The fucking propaganda outlet, Der Stürmer, the Nazi propaganda rag, would specifically target Jews convicted of crimes or, accused of crimes, and it would then use this one person, to then paint all Jews as, pedophiles, rapists, thieves, murderers, whatever. That's what Der Stürmer was trying to do, which is exactly why it's so fucking dangerous, not only to conflate Judaism with Israel, but also to try and paint any of these religions. Like now, because the guy said Allahu Akbar, they're going to try to say, oh, now we have to, all Muslims are a problem. This is so fucking dangerous. The same way that, the Emmett Till stuff, right? With Emmett Till, they said because he whistled at a white woman, all black people are rapists. We cannot let that be conflated. The only time it can be conflated is when it is statistically accurate, which is that straight white Republican men are more likely to be rapists and pedophiles than any fucking immigrant. That is a statistical fact. Someone alleged that Buttigieg and his husband were molesting their kids. Yeah, it was total bullshit, and it probably came from a MAGA pedophile who actually molested their kids. He wasn't white enough. Yeah, apparently the Asian guy wasn't white enough. And then, this is also why the hate So we're talking about a hate attack against, which it is a hate crime, by the way, against the Jewish guy in New York and also against the Asian man. They are absolutely hate crimes. So this also is a hate crime here. Berlin Pride was disrupted after someone drove their car into the crowd. The march has been canceled and the event evacuated. Heavy police presence is there. That's the danger, and this is the danger of hate. And I wish that I could end on a more upbeat, positive note. But unfortunately, the news sucks, and the people causing the news, writing the news, and trying to rebut the news and maybe change the narrative, like the Democrats need to abolish ICE and, fight back against the Nazi pedo regime, are cowards and losers who won't do it. So we don't have a lot of happiness to go off on here to sign off with. However, I do, as always, have some fun little clips from Instagram, which I will share as soon as I close all these fucking tabs, because otherwise it's going to freeze on me, because my computer is apparently running out of memory. Mass shooters, that too. So let's see if we can refresh this one real quick. David, BPHL, welcome. See, then the problem is, even when I pull this up and I delete all, I don't know why it's so bad like this. Like, my computer should not, like, how is it that I was able to pull up all of those tabs, but then I go to the Instagrams, and now it's fucked? Okay, hang on. Maybe this one will work. Let me try this.
What you doing?
So for those of you who don't know, this is a monitor lizard.
What you doing? What you doing?
This is a monitor lizard, a.k.a. The inspiration for the dragons from Game of Thrones. And I never thought I would want one, but now I kind of do. Look at this fucker.
What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing?
He's so cute. I kind of want one, not going to lie. All right, which one loaded? Okay, here we go.
Prank on a teacher instead what was supposed to be a prank on a teacher instead backfired on the students. A blindfolded half-court shot that is now the talk of campus and beyond.
That is so fucking cool, dude.
Put that in the story too.
That is the correct reaction to that.
Are you kidding me?
It went in.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Is that on tape?
Yeah.
That was perfect.
You are kidding me.
I'm going like this so I can get the goal in the background. It went in.
That is the correct reaction. He's so fucking flabbergasted. I love that.
Yeah, it went in.
Even he can't believe it. That's so awesome. Monitor lizards are usually cranky? Shit, I didn't know that. I thought they were pretty benign as far as lizards go. I hadn't heard that. All right, so this one's not working. What about this one? Nope, not working. What about this one? Why is it that some of these work fine? I really don't understand. Maybe I need to reopen it? Let me try opening a different tab. Oops. Will this do the trick? Maybe this will do the trick. Oh yeah, this is so good.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, we're stopping. No, we're not. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we're stopping. No, we're not. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh my god!
All right, we're stopping. No, we're not.
This can't be real. That can't be real, right? There's no way. Like, to break the glass like that would actually, you could literally fucking die. Like, the glass could fucking cut your face and shit. There's no way this is real, right?
3, 2.
Oh yeah, it's a dummy. You can
1,
see. Okay.
Go. All right, we're stopping. No, we're not. 3.
Yeah. Okay. So it goes from a real person, and they cut to the dummy in the far shot. Okay. That's still fucking
2,
funny.
1, go. All
All
right,
right,
we're
stopping. No, we're not. Also, such a great line. Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm so glad that it wasn't an actual person there. And it's clearly a dummy now that I look at it closely. God, that's fucking even funnier now. Holy shit, that's good. Oh, okay, let me see. God damn it. See, this is Oops! I mean, I don't care how big this dude is. These guys have... It's the same thing with men to think they can fight a bear. You guys have no idea what you're dealing with. These creatures are so incredibly fucking strong. It's unbelievably deceptive. There's videos of a female lion, probably, you know, about a 400-pound female lion maybe, and they give it a tug of rope, right? And there's three, maybe even four, I can't remember exactly, like four beefcake bodybuilders pulling on the rope, and it's just the lion, and you can tell the lion is not even really putting effort. Like, it is trying, but it's not, like, really, really trying. And these guys are just, like, straining every muscle. And look, this guy, look at this. Yeah, I'll take you! Yeah, dude, be glad that fucking fence is there. You have no idea. You're in the fuck around phase. You will not like the find out phase. I promise you. Okay? I promise you. I think this is the, let me see. I think this is the one I just watched. God damn it. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, hang on. So let's delete this one.
Is a bit more like... Now, you know, you got the space station right up there that... it's doing gravity. You know, the Soyuz is a bit more like...
I wonder, like,
now,
this
you
has
know,
got to
you
be
got the
real.
space station right up there that... it's doing gravity.
This poor guy. This poor guy, like, just gets back to Earth, and he's like, oh, man, that's right. Stuff doesn't float out here. We don't float here. Or I guess it'd be, we don't float here, Georgie. If he ever... What if they did Pennywise in space, right? They did Jason Voorhees in space. What if they did Pennywise in space? I don't remember what this one is here. Oh, yeah, I love this shit.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
I don't. I couldn't tell you what's so funny about this. I don't know. I guess it's because, well, it splits with your expectation, right? It's the surprise of it all, because obviously the setup is, okay, Skyrim, going in there, and you don't know what you're going to get because it's talking about a mod, but do you really expect it's going to be crabs saying, now you fucked up? Like, you know, like, there's no way.
Now you fucked up. Now you
It's also, something about the delivery is very entertaining.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, thank you all for sticking with me. As always, if you are still watching, please make sure to like, subscribe. Make sure to also follow me on Twitch. I'm really trying to build my Twitch. YouTube is more important right now. Twitch is secondary. Please, please, please give me a like and a follow. Okay, thank you so much. I got to go. Bye.